Check out the mustache. It's gonna be good.
I don't think anybody showed up, man.
I figured if I just do this long enough,
Does that mean we just get to take another night off since nobody's here?
we if I just do this long enough.
I don't think that's gonna be. I don't think that's it.
It's pretty awkward for me too. Don't worry.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go back to normal. Look, all I'm saying is I got the greatest T-shirt alive. Look at this.
No, you don't. Not even, bro. No. This shirt right here.
It's beyond amazing.
It is. I mean, you can't beat it. You're right. It is beyond amazing. This
sorry.
shirt, and the way that it matches up with the White Ranger fitted is just beautiful. This is definitely going to be day one con rollout gear.
Speaking of con, when is Lexington?
I don't know. My 2023 Comic-Con wardrobe is definitely going to be off the chain this year. Off the freaking chain.
Name the movie,
Stepping it
guys.
up. We're going to retire the Captain America baseball jersey that I have been known to show up at the Comic-Cons on Saturday, so everybody knows the dude in the blue cap hat and the cap jersey. We know who that is. That's going away. It's going away. We got a whole new wardrobe coming in for con season this year. Looking forward to it.
Well, Lexington Comic-Con is in March, end of March. That's coming up soon.
Yeah, we got Atlanta this month. This month or February?
I don't know.
I can't remember. It's supposed to be good this year. This is the third year in a row that Atlanta Comic-Con is owned by a different company and going to be a completely different show. So who knows, Nick? Maybe we'll actually be able to enjoy it this year.
I'm trying to see what the what hotel do we normally stay at Lexington? Is it Hilton?
Sheraton?
No, it's Hilton or Hyatt.
Hilton, Hyatt. We stay at the Hyatt, I think. I don't know. I literally still had the hotel card in my wallet until about 2 weeks ago, and I threw it away.
That's hilarious.
I had that one. I had the Heroes, and I threw them away. So I have no idea.
Hey-o.
It doesn't look like YouTube's going to be oh no, they're coming in. Okay, now I see. I was gonna say it looks like YouTube's not gonna be showing us if there's anybody watching tonight or commenting. So
we'll go ahead and say hello to everyone in the chat.
All right, we've got Alan. What's going on, dude? Alan, what's up? I just need to pull this just a peek, right there. Perfect. Nah, you know, because it'll stay. Randy, what's going on, dude? Saw you hanging out in our elite sale earlier today. Appreciate that, man. Let's see. Bleeker, what's up, brother? What's going on, man? Bleeker has got a tremendous hunt championship match going on this weekend. That's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Let's see. Mr. Rob Worst, what's going on, dude? How are you? What's going on at DC? Looks like they're going right back to Detective Comics and all the Batman. All the Batman.
I'm just waiting for Bruce Wayne to end up pregnant.
Male 6565.
Howdy.
What's going on? So yeah, we're gonna be talking about Nick wanted to talk about the stuff going on with DC. There's been a lot of buzz going on lately. So we're gonna let Nick talk about that tonight. And before we get into that though, you got any new pickups?
I do.
Any fresh gets, as
First off,
my man Journo likes to say.
This amazing t-shirt or sweater. It's a sweater.
It's terrible.
Beyond
dude.
amazing.
Yeah, that I don't know, dude. I'm not feeling it. It's whacking. I'm not feeling it.
It's got some blue over here.
Yes. All I don't
You
know.
know what I mean? Then some manga, Black Clover 31. I actually spent about 3 hours last night reading manga and caught up. It's getting good. The greatest manga, Dragon Ball Super. I've already read it, but I'm telling you, dude, it is getting sick. I mean, look at this. Would you look at that art? Oh, it's amazing. You know what I mean? Just absolutely killer. So good. And then our comic book hauls. Put that one down first. Spawn Compendium number 3. Now, fun fact. I already have Spawn Compendium 3. It was right there. So I have 1, 2, and 3. I bought this thinking I didn't have it. At the same time, I bought this. So I got both of those in the mail. If you guys need number 3, let me know. We'll be offloading it. And I do have volumes 1 through 5 coming. Should be here Thursday, I think it said. And then Batman Spawn, Berserker, Gunslinger, King Spawn, and King Spawn 18. So, okay. So super duper right there. You know what I mean? Super duper. Now, what I love about, I mean, look how nice these covers are, and look at the page quality and the man, and still only $2.99. Image Comics. Let me rephrase. Todd McFarlane is doing it right. Just doing it right. And in all fairness, this Boom Studio book is nice quality. However, it is not $2.99.
Not $2.99, that's for sure.
It's $3.99.
But
Which often,
Boom Studios always puts out quality. I feel like, and
yeah, they do quality over like a crap ton of quantity, like
yeah,
Pregnant
and
Joker.
they're not like crazy overpriced either. Like you don't get a bunch of like $7 and $8 books from them.
Yeah.
So
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Yep. And then I had one more thing I was going to show off. It's right behind me. Give me a second. I'm going to grab it. You guys will like it.
he's gonna just go grab that real quick. So I got a stack of stuff. You had to go off screen just to turn around.
I didn't want nobody to see my butt.
Oh my god.
What is this, you might ask? Let's find out together. No, you didn't ask yourself that?
No.
Whoop. Whoop. Hello there, old friend. Hello, my old friend. So as you guys know, I went to Disney World and I built a droid. I actually built 2 droids. Well, my wife built one and I built one. And we're a comic book channel. Star Wars is kind of fun. Oh, grabbed the wrong thing. 1 second. It's going to be worth the payoff. Don't worry.
I sure hope so, because you're killing us right now.
Wait for it. Come on, old buddy. Whoa.
Oh my god, what is that?
And he's a fully functioning droid.
Does he have a remote control? Oh my god.
Here we go. Wait for it. It's happening. It's kind of slow on carpet. He's going to be in frame. Give it a second. There he goes. I think I killed him. I don't know what just happened. That's embarrassing. All right, Dustin, you go ahead.
All right, so you're not going to be getting any manga show-offs or weird robot book bags from me, guys. Sorry. All I have is comic books. So hope that's okay with everybody. We'll start out with the raw stuff that I got. So I've been picking up stuff from this IG account, Nexo Comics, NEXO Comics on Instagram. If you guys aren't checking them out, I get a lot of really nice books for some really good prices on there. This week, I think I've had shipments coming in from this guy for like every week for like 2 months now. I picked up the San Diego Comic Con issue number 3. I just thought this was a cool cover with the mask on it, and it was really, really high grade, 1994. So I thought that was just really cool. It looks like an awesome cover.
It's super duper.
So pick that up. And this one here, I like to pick up books sometimes when I see them and see that they have different issues that I'd like to try to work on. So I will just buy books just because they have problems that I'd like to see if I can fix. So that was the case with this guy here, which is Avengers 223. It's also a book that I was looking for. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. I just always liked this cover. I thought it was super cool. So now I got a copy of that. Didn't pay too much for it at all. And get to work on it. It's got a pretty good spine roll on it. Definitely has some dirt issues, and there's some imprinting on it in different areas. So see what I can do with that. I picked up this guy here, Chris Clark trading card variant for Power Rangers 55 featuring Lord Draken. So yeah, he had that in there for I forget how much, but I've already got one. But I was just like, hey, what the heck? And then I picked this one up for my son because he's kind of been getting into wanting to have like slabs hanging on his wall. So my buddy Britt gave him a Pokemon number 1, second print 9.6, and he loves Lion King. He loves Lion Guard. So I've been wanting to find a Lion King that I could put it into a 9.8. And so I think this one definitely has a nice shot at that. So we're going to give that a shot and see if we can hit a 9.8 on that Lion King. Next up, I don't know, about a month ago, a group called the Comic Corner did some exclusives for a book that Nick and I both really enjoyed last year from Mad Cave Studios, and that was Nottingham issue number 1. Now, I did order 2 copies, and I even put in my post when I got them that I ordered 2 copies because one, never ordered from Comic Corner before, wasn't very familiar with them, and I wanted one that I could grade to put on my wall, and I ordered 2 because you never know. It gives you a better chance of at least having one that didn't get messed up. Well, both of them got messed up in shipping, which seems to always happen when I order an exclusive, which is why I never do it anymore. But they did reach out to me after I made that post, and they made it right. I had to rip the covers off the ones I had and send them pictures. But they did make it right. They did get me 2 more copies. Now I have not been able to check them over, but here we go. And these are Virgin Foil Nottingham number 1s. And I really thought that it was great how they did this because sometimes with the foil covers, they just get way too out of hand with it. And I loved that it was just the red, just the blood is foil here. And I know in the bag you can't really tell, but it really does pop very nicely. And I loved this series. And Nottingham number 1 was probably the best cover of the year for me for 2022, as far as like a traditional A cover, not some crazy variant or something like that. Just a regular A cover. This one right here, it was the same cover. It was just a trade dress, and it did not have the foil. But this artwork on this cover was absolutely my favorite for the entire year. And those did come with COAs. So I got number 28 of 100. Bam. And number 29 of 100. So I'm going to be checking those over. I got a pre-screen. Going to be sending out a pre-screen this week. That's like back-to-back pre-screens I've done. But so I'm going to check those over and hopefully be putting both of those in there. So hopefully I can get one back that I can throw on the wall in a 9.8. Picked up the Mortal Kombat Blood and Thunder issue number 1 in a 9.8. You guys are saying, dude, we saw the YouTube video where you unboxed this already. Yes, but this is the newsstand. And I said I wanted every Mortal Kombat book in a 9.8, and that does include the newsstands. I went back and forth on whether or not I wanted to include newsstands, and I just decided, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to include the newsstands because I don't want some peckerhead down the line trying to do what I'm doing and then be able to say he has the newsstands, though. So now I have the newsstand, and this is the first 9.8 that I've bought. All my other 9.8s, I have made those 9.8s. This is the only one that I've bought, and that is just because I can never, ever find this book in a newsstand where it's not beat up. I've bought probably 20 plus copies of it, and they never shake out. And I was just able to get this for such a good deal. I was just like, you know what? I'll be okay with having one 9.8 that I didn't actually, get there myself. So I got that in this week. That was really exciting. If you guys saw the video this week, picked up Incredible Hulk 105 in a 9.0. Very excited about having this. This was my last pickup of 2022. Cream to off-white pages, so the page quality sucks, but 9.0 in this book is just really awesome. Plus, it's one of my favorite artists. You guys have heard me say it over and over. The very underappreciated, underrated, under talked about Marie Severin. And I know that she does get a lot of credit, but I feel like compared to a lot of the other artists of this era, she definitely does not get her name thrown out there near enough. And I love Marie Severin's art. And this was a book that I just had to grab it when I saw it. For a 9.0 in a 1968, you got to do it, man. You just got to do it. So super excited. Like I said in the video, it's an old CGC case, but I don't think that there is anything that can be done to improve the grade on this book, really. So what I'm probably going to do is just send it in for a reholder, and I'll see it in 6 months. I wish that I felt like it was worth just cracking and resubmitting. That way I could get it back in a lot sooner. However, the way these guys are grading right now, I just don't trust it. I don't trust it.
No trust.
Hey, what's up, Liz Barnes? Thanks for stopping by for a minute. Oh,
Now,
Mom's on here. Hey, Mom.
hello, mother. Hello.
And then I got 2 last-minute pickups today
Uh-oh.
that Nick didn't even know about. So these are pretty awesome. So today I was with Yahweh. You guys have seen him on Sand's channel and on Instagram. I call him Sean because he's my buddy. He's actually been here before too. Most people know him as Yahweh. So he and we get together at his house and we sell on Elite Comics 11. Basically, for the most part, he does the selling and I'm doing the bookkeeping and organizing and keeping everything rolling behind the scenes for him. But he had a couple of books that he tried to put up in the last sale, and I was like, I don't know, man. I think you need to hold off on those. And he said, why? I said, because I want them. So we worked out a deal on these today, and I'm so excited. Fantastic Four, issue number 17,
Uh-oh.
5.5.
There you go.
This was such a fun story. I really, really loved this story. This is the one that has the John F. Kennedy cameo appearance in it. It's got Ant-Man in it too, but I just love the cover. It really has like a FF number 5 look to it to me, kind of. But I loved the story. I remembered that this was one of those that I really enjoyed reading a lot. I thought it had a fun storyline to it. So really happy to have this guy right here. 5.5 off white to white, 1963. And it does. I haven't looked at the grader's notes, but it does. This one I'm probably going to crack because this one does have plenty of things I can improve on. So I'm excited about being able to crack this thing open and flip through it. And it's just another early Fantastic Four book that I'm going to be able to open up and flip through it and give her a little, they'll give it the sniff test and, be able to say that I put hands on it and worked on it. That's something that I'm looking forward to. So excited about that one as well. And this next one is really exciting because I've been talking about wanting to get this book for pretty much since I read this issue. And Nick's getting the camera real close so he can roll his eyes, and that's fine. But I got the FF 36 First Frightful Four.
Oh, yeah.
Medusa. Really excited. I don't know why, but I've enjoyed the Frightful Four storylines, and I think Medusa's a really cool character too. So this was one I wanted to get. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but I
Hey,
just
collect your way.
that's right. I enjoyed this team, the bickering and the goofiness between these characters. Was just something I enjoyed in the stories, and a lot of people are picking this book up for the spec reason of Medusa and the Inhumans. I could give a crap about that. I
I
like
don't
the
think it's
I,
gonna do well in the
I
movies.
enjoyed I enjoyed uh, the Frightful Four. So, and it's not bad in a 7.0 either. So that was a pretty sweet grade to pick this one up in. Plus, this one also definitely has some room to grow. So I'll probably flip this one, break this one open, and flip through it and do some working on this and get it regraded as well. So just a couple of Fantastic Four books to add to my collection. I definitely am excited about being able to add any Fantastic Four Silver Age books to the collection at this point. They weren't the ones on the list, but they were on like the list after the list. So that was all my pickups. I got the new mic stand. I'm excited about it. It. I don't have any more of that boom arm mic stand. I don't have the cheap.
Oh, look, we're matchy.
Yeah, I don't have the cheap junk uh, arm anymore. Like this is some hellacious quality product right here, and so I'm really really digging it.
Now
I
you
don't have
just got to get the red cord
see. I
and
was
the
gonna get the red cord, but this cord right here that I have, this cable. This is a cable, by the way, not a cord.
it's
Uh,
cordage.
cords are for powering an object up with DC power. This is a cable, but
Cordage.
this is a more high quality cable than that red one that you get with it. So I may end up getting a red one later on, but very happy
I
about
bought
getting
this
this.
second, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I also got some upgrades for the pressing and cleaning room. I got a new 3-foot light to go over the cleaning table that came in today. That was super exciting. And then tomorrow, I wish it was here today, but it's not. Tomorrow, I have coming in a new tripod for the camera because the one I've got is being held together with duct tape and bubble gum. Literally, it is a piece of crap. Literally, the Amazon brand, and this is the best one I've ever bought. So I'm excited to get the new one that I bought coming in. It's a much better quality, and should be a lot easier to work with. So I'm excited about that too. Now my videos won't be as wonky looking because I know sometimes I'll start out straight, and by the end of the video, I'm like, and it's because the tripod will just start to give and just start to lean. And I'm like, this thing sucks, bro. I got to get rid of it. So that is it. That is it. I got some CGC books in, but I did an unboxing video for those, so you guys will get to see that in like 6 or 7 weeks.
Maybe not. I need to actually download the video we did the other day so I can start working on that tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
Anywho's.
Let's
All right, so a couple
see.
more people have showed up. Not near mint. What's up?
Yeah. What do you say there?
He said
Picking
you
up
are
what I'm
picking up
picking
what
up.
I'm
Both
picking up.
trying to complete FF runs. Yes. 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 Yes.
Well, I'm reading them for what that's worth.
Well, I am too, but
Inhumans did suck, and I think it's going to continue to suck.
yeah,
And
I mean, the Inhumans isn't something like I'm particularly worried about. Like I said, for me, it was all about the Frightful Four, baby. I
yeah,
thought they were
well,
just an awesome team. And
they
Pace
just came
Pot
back.
Pete is awesome. I don't care what anybody says.
They just came back, and I will tell you, they
Trapster.
have not improved.
Dude, they're awesome, man. They almost destroyed the Fantastic Four, bro. What are you talking about,
Dude,
man?
that's literally all the Fantastic Four has been when I'm reading it, is them almost destroyed every issue,
I know
either
that's
by
what's so great
themselves
about them,
or
man.
by everyone else.
It's the constant comeback story, bro. It's just like
Like, they've
like
never
in
come back,
wrestling.
though.
Just
That's
like
the
in wrestling.
problem.
What do you mean?
They're never come back. As soon as something good happens, Reed Richards and Sue does something that ruins everything, or
Oh, I'm just talking about like in the battles and everything. Like they always look like they're like totally screwed, and then somehow they come back.
I will tell you guys, though, if the MCU is smart, they will somehow incorporate Johnny, his red and yellow uniform that he has right now. It is sick.
Oh, I haven't gotten that far. Where you at?
Late 100s, early 200s, something like that. I don't
Okay.
remember
Yeah,
exactly.
you're way past me, dude. I'm not even in the
But
70s yet.
yeah, it is super cool. You also probably haven't got to the part where Reed Richards basically, well, I'm not gonna spoil
Yeah,
anything.
don't do that. Don't do
Not
that.
that would be spoiling anything because it's only been out for 100 years, but I'm also, kinda kicking ahead on Teen Titans, and that's been really
Mm.
fun. I really, really have enjoyed it.
I was
D-Mads,
over at
I'm like,
Richie's
"DC
this
sucks,
week.
I'm out." Yeah.
I was over at Richie's this week, man, and he just got a bunch of graded toys back, and he has the original 1970s Marvel Mego action figures. Man, the
Mm,
Fantastic Four ones, dude. The Human Torch and the Thing look freaking amazing, like incredible looking, especially the Human Torch. And I'm like, Jesus, I want these, man.
yeah,
So expensive. And
I
of
know.
course, you know how Richie is, dude. Like Richie's got like top quality, with great grades, and he's got the full collection. He's got the Spider-Man. He's got everybody. So, but that was really cool. I've never been too intrigued with the Migo stuff, but
Mhm.
I was definitely pumped after I saw those.
Yep.
So what are we looking at?
So this was his red and yellow suit I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah, that's
God,
cool.
it's awesome, man. It really is. It looks so good.
So
Um,
he's
for
the
sure.
only one in red and yellow, though, right?
I think so right now. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah. Um, didn't I get a yeah. What else going on in WWE? I don't know, man. What's up, Empire?
Vince McMahon has now come back just so he can sell the WWE.
Oh, good for him. He needs his money, dude.
I know,
More
right? It's
women.
just crazy to me, the thought of the WWE not being owned by Vince McMahon. Like, what?
Who's it gonna be sold to? Like
Who the hell
somebody
knows, man?
like over in Saudi Arabia, like the oil money people?
Who knows, dude? It's gotta
Or
be somebody with a hell of a lot of money, though.
or is it gonna be like a corporation like Blackstone?
I don't know. They're already I think they're already a publicly traded company, so who knows?
Are they? I don't know. Honest to God,
They
don't know.
are.
I don't think so, but maybe.
I think so.
Let's see. What up, Empire? White
What's up, bro?
Tiger, cool, calm, and collected. What up, Ruben?
What's up,
Perry,
Ruben?
what's happening?
Perry, what's
I've been
going on,
enjoying
bro?
watching Perry's video game content.
Oh, yeah.
And like he's got me super like I've been watching it. And so I broke out the I guess I'll have to unplug it here. This is my retro
Damn,
video
Perry
game.
said he got some free Chick-fil-A because they was just tossing it out. Damn it, man. That's
That
good
does sound
shit,
good.
bro.
Here's my retro console.
Yeah.
And then of course I have my retro. I was playing some Pokemon Stadium and I have a couple of different versions of those. But
Yeah, I
yeah.
can't wait to come over again and show let Hagen see that Pokemon Stadium, man. You know he's gonna love that.
Oh yeah. It's just so frustrating how slow it is sometimes.
Yeah. We loved that game, though.
Yeah. And I didn't know there was a
Reading the new
Pokemon Stadium
SF
too.
run.
We're not, but I probably will once I as I continue.
Yeah, Alan was telling me about it earlier this week, and so I was like, man, maybe I need to check that out. I'm not reading anything current right now. I haven't had a pull list in probably a year now. Just there wasn't anything that was being keeping my attention, or I mean, I was buying, I was just losing interest in the stuff I was reading, and then it just got to the point where I just wasn't enjoying it. So, and then I wasn't reading it, but I was still buying it, so I had to just take a break from it. So just went full fledged, both of us, full on back issues reading.
Mhm.
Nick read all of ASM, then Fantastic Four. We both started reading that, and then I'm still reading all of The Walking Dead. So and
And
and like I've said many times, I can't read more than one thing at a time.
I
Otherwise,
have
like
to. I have
I
to.
can't.
And for me, it's not so much like multiple comics at a time, although right now I'm reading the new Teen Titans. And man, DC is just, I'm pretty much in the same era on Fantastic Four as I am DC between the two. And of course, I've read a ton of stuff from that era at this point, but this stuff by Marv Wolfman and George Perez is unlike
Mhm.
anything, and it really hurts my feelings the fact that I'll never get the opportunity to meet George Perez like I had a few years ago.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because I'm really truly
Same here.
appreciating his work. I wish Justin was on. We could have been talking about Teen Titans.
Mm,
Um, but man, it is awesome. I wish they would bring this version into modern DC. You know, Raven, instead of
yeah.
being this weird emo goth girl, she's like this really pretty, you know, like I don't even know how to describe it. In the same way with like Starfire and all of these characters are super cool except for Wally West. Nobody cares about him. But it's pretty awesome. And they actually just beat the heck out of Justice League, so that was kind of neat. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. The artwork's interesting.
Yeah.
Tons of double spreads, that you don't get as much. You really don't get many double spreads at all in Marvel comic books during that time. You really did. I don't think you
Mhm.
really started seeing that until
No, you just
the
get
80s,
like
90s.
yeah, you might get like a 2 panel splash or something most
Yeah,
of the
or
time.
like a one-page, like,
One
pinup, but
page
yeah,
later on down the line of it, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I actually just got a sweet ass George Perez book back graded. I was hoping that it would
yeah,
come back at 9.8, and it did, and I was just elated because I loved this freaking book, so,
yeah.
um,
Depending on how this
I
goes,
was happy
I
about
may or
that.
may not pick something up like that.
Yeah. Yeah, when I found it, I was like, "Man, I wished I had been more involved in the older stuff, like
Mhm,
we are now, when we were at shows that he was at and had the opportunity because we didn't take advantage of because it wasn't something
exactly.
that we were, really, really taking advantage of as far as reading and diving into, so
Yeah,
that's
it's
the
funny. It is really an awesome, what do you call it? Teen Titans run. I'm
yeah.
true, and I wasn't really expecting to, but I was really Justin, he's like, "Hey, we should read this." I'm like, "Great." The issue is I have to pay for the DC Unlimited, and it's like 120 bucks a month to finish it, and I think it's so stupid that they've changed their app to be that expensive.
Wait, what?
$120 a year, sorry. Yeah,
Oh,
so instead of being able to pay monthly, they have this new Ultimate or Max or whatever it's called, and it's the dumbest thing in the world. I
oh,
actually
so you
should do a
can't
video
do
on it.
monthly anymore?
You can, but you don't get access to all the same books. It's
Oh,
dumb. I was
well,
pissed. I'm like, "Are
damn
you
it, just
serious?"
throw that in the on the list of things to talk about then. I mean, what the hell is that, dude?
Yeah,
How are you
I was
expected to compete? Why would you think
so you can pay $10 a month, right, and get access to a good bit, but then it's $120 a year, and you get access to all of it, and they're like, "Oh, well, you get the comics sooner and this and that," and I'm like, "Look, I get all of that with Marvel, and I don't think I'm paying 10
I
bucks.
was
If I
gonna
wanted to, I could pay $59 a year."
yeah, I was gonna say, why would I do that when I can just go to Marvel and pay this like,
Yeah,
you're already behind the
yeah.
the damn line in as it goes
Yeah, they're well
anyway,
behind the curve,
and
and
and and now you wanna make like do they have any I swear sometimes I feel like they just don't have any uh,
there's no
plans for success at all. It's like how many times can we shoot ourselves in the same foot?
yeah. So I was very frustrated with that, and to the point of, you know what, maybe I should find some alternative methods to reading this in the app. Um, but
And that's
I
the
was
problem. Like we're not just
very
beating up on
frustrated.
DC. We both of us want to be more well versed in DC stuff. Like
Yeah,
we want to dive into the DC, but these some bitches just making it harder on us at every turn. It seems like it's just like, come on, man.
yeah, I was pretty upset, and I found that out last night. I was finished my Fantastic Four up, jumped into Teen Titans, saw that. I was immediately pissed. I'm like, "F it, I'll go and catch up on my manga." So I spent the next 2 hours instead of reading Teen Titans. I read about 2 hours worth of manga, right? So it was pretty frustrating. Although it was nice to catch up on like 6 months of manga because that's what I do now. Is like I was mentioning earlier, I have to read multiple things at one time. Um, he mentions it here. You know, he talks about staving off of dementia and stuff like that. For me, it's more just attention. Um, it keeps me if I were to just read one thing, I would lose interest, but being able to read, a ton of Fantastic Four daily, but also mix in Teen Titans or honestly a lot of manga is even better for me, because it doesn't I don't become bored with it, right?
Yeah,
But what I've done with manga really is just the like 5 or 6 main storylines. I'll read them, wait like 5, 6 months. I'll sit down, for a few hours, read them all, catch up, and then unless I find a story that I wanna read from, like, beginning to end, that's already, like, an ended, run, kinda like what I've done back here with a few, I'm only reading, every couple of months now, which is kind of
Yeah.
weird that that's turned into that. But with comic books, it's been pretty consistent, just a few issues a day. And then once I hit Fantastic Four, I cannot wait to get past into the mid 80s, early 90s in the Fantastic Four, so I can finally start reading like a ton a day
Mhm.
and make some real progress here. And I'm hoping it gets better.
Yeah. Have you gotten into the John Byrne stuff yet, or?
Um, did he write? See, I don't. Here's my. Whenever I'm reading, I don't necessarily always pay attention to who's writing it
Mm,
because I'm right now. I'm at Jerry Conway. When did he start writing it?
that I'm not sure.
Let me see.
I just know,
Fantastic
just like
Four.
anything else he does, everybody always says like, "Hey, John Byrne was a monster on Fantastic Four." So, um, yeah, for me, if I try to like read, like say like my two things I'm reading right now are FF and Walking Dead. So, um, for like 6 months, I was reading nothing but Fantastic Four. Now I'm just reading Walking Dead. So I'm just like I'll make a big leap on one and then
Hmm.
take a break because I'll get burned out. Take a big
Yeah.
leap on the other. But see, if I try to read both of them, then I don't feel like I'm reading as much of one or the other because now uh, I can usually read two, maybe three books a day.
Yeah.
That's about all I can get, and sometimes I'll go days and days where I don't even have the time for that. So I'm just like, man, I don't want to be just read one FF and one Walking Dead and then not get to do anything else for a couple days. Like I mean, I don't know. It's different for me. Plus, I have a harder time following and remembering what was going on in Walking Dead if I just read Fantastic Four. And yeah, my brain is kind of shitty. So
No, so I am not at John
I'm
Byrne
not
yet.
punchy, okay? I got what you would call a relaxed brain, but I'm not punchy, okay?
So it looks like John Byrne didn't start Fantastic Four, at least according to this, until 232, and
Okay.
that's early 80s. So I'm not there
Yeah, I
yet.
figured I knew it was at some point in the 80s, but I just didn't remember how far you said you
Yeah.
had gotten. And god dang it, I love this damn thing.
What?
This is just so nice, dude.
I know it's a miracle.
I don't have like you guys don't understand the boom arm I had. The microphone was so heavy, I had to tie dumbbells to the back of it with zip ties to hold it. And then the whole thing was so janky because I had too much weight on both sides of it. So the middle was falling apart. It was terrible.
That's hilarious. What up, Vinny? What up, Porter's Hide?
So high.
Bahraini, Brandon. I am. How far along in Spawn did I get? I want to say it was like 150, something like that. I read a ton, and then it kind of, if I'm being honest, for me, got redundant. If that makes sense. Um, and it kind of lost me a little bit, but it is something that I definitely want to go back and kind of re-kick back off and just finish up just for the sake of catching up.
Okay.
Um, but yeah,
Okay. That's right. He brought in She Hulk. I was thinking that's what it was.
what now?
When John Byrne jumped on, that's when She Hulk came onto the team.
Yeah, okay, okay. But yeah, still super glad to have these. What's dumb is I'm still buying these, but yet I have the 5 hardcovers coming in too. They should be here Thursday. And I'm like, why? It's the same stuff. I should not do that. But I cannot help it because I'm sick and I have a problem.
Yeah, you're stupid sometimes. The stuff you won't spend money on, but then the dumb stuff you will spend money on. I'm just like,
Hey,
you're dumb, bro.
look,
You buy the
I
same damn book 3 times in a different format for why?
I am trying so hard right now to not spend my money on sealed Game Boy games, like Game Boy or in systems. Like I
Oh,
want
so this is what we're gonna talk about now, like venturing outside of comics because I've been having those issues too. So let's get into that.
okay, so this is what I'm struggling with. And we'll get to the DC stuff, but we're trying to be positive. Everyone knows what's happening, and we're just going to give our quick opinions. And we don't want to become this festering
We're
hate.
not gonna do the hate mongering shock jock stuff. That's not gonna be what we get into. No matter how many clicks and views that gets, um, you know, like I've said a couple of times before, uh, we did that for a little while last year just to see, just to kind of say like this actually is like how it is. Like this is
Yeah.
what people care about is seeing people get on here and raise hell about bullshit. And when you do comic book content, you don't get the views, you don't get the interaction. But you know what? We don't give a shit because that's the stuff
Hold
we
on.
like. So we would rather have the people that actually.
We accept them, one of us. You will gobble one of us. We accept them, one of us. You will gobble.
Okay, I'm messaging Justin. You know why? Because he's getting rid of all of his toys. And you know what kind of toys he collects? Dragon. That is disgusting looking.
What?
Dragon Ball toys. I need those Dragon Ball toys.
Okay. Well, anyway, like I was saying, we enjoy doing and talking about comic book stuff, so that's
Yeah.
the kind of people we want to attract anyway. So,
Let me show
uh,
you.
but let's see. I bought a Genesis and a modded control cartridge, so I can choose what games I want to play right on.
So here's the retro game thing for me is I found this. This is mine from back in the day. But I also had the Game Boy Advance that was like the clear one I got for having really good grades in in elementary school. And I love this thing, dude. It is beat up, but I played so
Is
many
that the
games.
same one you've always had?
Yeah,
That's
yep.
cool. I remember you getting that.
And it has an ATV game. I'm like, where the F is the Pokemon games? Anyways,
Oh, we didn't have one for that. We had it for Game Boy Color.
and I probably just like played them out of here, right? Probably just
No,
bundled
we
them.
had Game Boy. You had a green Game Boy
I
Color.
know, I know. I was
I
going to
was
talk about
so
that.
pissed because you got one,
Yeah,
and I was like, "Why does this little bastard need one? He don't even know how to.
yeah,
He's not even old enough to play it." And then I was just like, "Wait a second. Why am I complaining? He lives in my room. All I had to do is convince him that Pokemon is the game he wants,
yeah,
and then I get to play Pokemon on Game Boy,
yeah.
and it worked out."
Oh, dude, for real. So, so this is the one I found, and this kind of kicked it off. And I started looking up retro, and we're not going to talk about this
So
long,
wait,
guys.
wait,
But
wait, wait. That's not your original DS,
no,
or
this
is
is
it?
mine.
Okay,
Yeah, this is mine. I found it. I
okay.
have the bag. It was in.
You were just saying you just
I
found.
found it when we were cleaning out
Gotcha.
the garage and stuff, and I was like,
Okay.
dude, this is sick. And so I found I did some research online trying to find a charger for it. And then of course, because YouTube and Google and everything in the world knows what you're searching for, now all of a sudden nothing in my YouTube is nothing but retro video games. So this company called DK Oldies shows off all of these TikTok type videos on YouTube, the YouTube shorts, showing packaging up retro video
Oh
games and
yeah, I
stuff like
watched
that.
them. That
It's
we follow them on TikTok. They're awesome.
Okay, well, but I saw him on YouTube, and it only started after I searched this, and so I went down the rabbit hole. Man, this thing is so beat up, and I love it so much. Look at that.
Hmm.
But I'm like, okay, but I want to buy a sealed up in the box kiwi green Game Boy Color like I had, and a Game Boy Advance, not this one, the Advance version, the see-through purple one, sealed up in a box. And then I'd love to buy one of these sealed up in a box. But then I
Hmm.
also am like, okay, well, if I'm going to do this, I need to buy all the games I love playing sealed up in the box.
Those Pokemon are crazy, bro.
Just stupid expensive. But then I'm like,
Crazy.
kind of like what Brandon said in Bronze Page. We'll talk about that in just a second. I think that's a good topic too.
And what you could do is you could buy the Lucy and get the repro boxes if you wanted, because those are
Nah.
pretty cheap. I know it's not the same, but
Dude, I looked on eBay and I won't even buy stuff off of eBay because I'm worried that stuff's fake because there's a lot of fakery in this stuff. Even down to like fake consoles that look very real, which is crazy to me.
hmm,
And you can actually get these things modded and have like upgraded screens in them, IPS screens, and change the buttons and change the battery out for a USB-C charger. Like it's wild to me. And but then I have this, and this literally has every console up until the Nintendo DS 2D with just about every game you could play. And I have, the retro controllers and the arcade, all of it, right?
mhm.
So I'm like, why do I need this? Well, I don't, but I would love to have it because the collector in me thinks I gotta have this. And I like to the point to where I went on DK Odie's, added everything I wanted in my cart, and I was like, no, Nick, you're sick. You have
B.
a
Ramey
problem.
says that they are overpriced.
They are, but here's the only reason why I went to them is because you're getting a real product. They do actually clean and like they'll put new screen protectors and stuff on their Game Boys, but if it's sealed, it doesn't really matter. But my big thing is I would pay a premium to know I'm getting a like real verified You know what I mean? And even if it wasn't sealed in the box, if it still came with the box and stuff, I'd be okay with that too. But, like, I know they're overpriced 100%, like, probably by a good 30, 40%, but I know it's not fake, and that's what
Right.
terrifies me about eBay is stuff like this that's so hot, and I know little to nothing on how to verify, you know? But, dude, for real, I, you don't call it Pokemon? Man, and
Man, I
then
don't know if you saw the video this week, bro, but
yeah,
damn it.
that's pretty cool. And then I'm wanting to go down the Yu-Gi-Oh! Sealed boxes from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Sealed, starter decks and the Joey starter decks and all of those, right? And they're a couple $100 a piece sealed up.
For the booster
N
boxes?
no, well, like, the starter decks is what they're called. So
Oh,
think
okay. I was
not
gonna say
booster.
because you could do what Richie's doing, dude, and just find an empty box and buy individual packs. Once you get it full, you can send it off, and
Yeah,
they will seal it for you
yeah.
and, do whatever they do, put a grade on it or, confirm it's
No,
real
yeah,
stuff.
these are just little starter decks, but it
Gotcha,
has, like,
okay.
all the really cool cards. All the cards I had, like, because those were $8 a piece back then, and I had
Mhm.
every single one of
I was
those.
gonna say, I remember always having you always I don't know what anything about them, but I know you had, like, the cards when it came to those. Our Pokemon collections sucked.
Yeah.
We never had the good Pokemon, but you always had the good ones of
Dude,
those.
I literally had and it still makes me sick, like, we were talking about it the other day with mom, like, I was going through looking at the most valuable Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, and they don't even touch the prices of Pokemon,
Mhm.
but I had them all, and it hurts my feelings, I don't know where they're at. And I'm like, I can't go down that rabbit hole because if I was being honest, like I would need about probably somewhere between 3 to 5 grand to be able to buy all the Yu-Gi-Oh cards I would want sealed up in the box, and I'd have like a super cool collection. Not like the best in the world, but I think it'd be really neat. This, I mean, that would cost probably like to really do it right, like top. You'd probably need what, like five, six, $7,000 to buy all the Pokemon I want,
Mm.
and that
That's
would
a
be just
ASM1, bro.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, but here I am not even willing to spend $300 on a FF13, I don't know.
Right.
I'm sick.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, "Come on,
I'm
man."
sick. Look, and then I'm like, searching a way because I love this, but it's inconvenient because you have to like be sitting in front of the computer or a monitor somewhere. And with Ellie, I just
I
don't
bet
have
that
that
looks
convenience.
great, though, on a really good, computer monitor.
This so it actually doesn't look as good as you would think because these games are all made to be on the CCTVs, and it's the way the CCTVs or no, it's not CCTV, whatever they are. Somebody will correct
CCTV
me.
is like cameras, but yeah, you're talking about
Yeah.
like an old box TV,
Yeah,
tube
but
TV.
it's the way they refresh that actually makes these look good. They actually don't look as great as you would think.
Do
So,
like Comic Man Andy did, man. He went and literally bought himself a tube TV to play his old systems on.
yeah, I don't know, but yeah, CRT, that's what it is. See, I knew
Could
I was
you
gonna get
imagine
corrected.
how like, if those TVs ever end up being valuable,
They
like,
are.
are they really?
Yeah, some of those are literally a couple $1,000. Like
Dude, I
there's a high-end
remember
Sony CRT TV that are
dude,
thousands.
I remember taking those things out and beating them up with bats and golf clubs just to watch them explode and
Yeah,
shooting
look, let
them.
me show yeah. Let me show you so you don't think I'm
How
nuts.
many of those did we have where we the buttons got pushed out of them? We had to stick our finger in the TV and press it and not get and, you get shocked every now and then.
Yeah. Look, look, right here. Stop. I know it's asking price, but still.
Wow. And it's just for people to play the video games on. That's
That's
exactly what
literally
it
it.
is.
Look at Sonic.
That's it, Hoarders Highest West. Yeah, they used to be they're so fun to shoot and watch them just like all that white smoke just puff out of them.
Yeah. Wild, man. So anyways, that's what I'm struggling with. And then I saw that video. I don't know if you clicked on it. I sent it to you guys today.
Mm-mm.
That you should watch it. It's the arcade tour of, and he's got like it's not just like what do you call it? Arcade like not boxes. What are they called? Not booths. Like your TMNT when you have what are they called?
Oh, the arcade one-ups.
Yeah, but like the actual thing. I guess there's arcade games, but they have actual old classic,
Oh, the cabinets.
yeah, cabinets, arcade cabinets. It's not just those. They actually have all the old systems set up, and you can rent out, or not rent out, but like pull out the video games that have them just sitting there because they get stolen. But you can like pull them out one by one and play them. Dude, it's super sick. And I'm like, how
Hmm.
can I get Josh to convince me to turn, part of his comic shop into that? That would be sick. If Josh could just take up that whole thing, we could do comic books, coffee, because I'm an addict, and then like this kind of stuff and cards. I would never leave
Hmm.
ever.
Damn, he says cereal boxes. Holy crap.
Oh,
Well, that's because
geez.
the 80s and the 90s are the last 2 good decades. Everything after that's just shit.
I would let's say everything post 2005.
I don't know, man.
Post it. There was a lot of great music early 2000s, like
Yeah, I guess so.
and some of the good Pokemon games
Basketball
came
was still
out.
good. Yeah,
The
I guess
Pokemon
so.
trading
So we'll
card was
say
still good.
mid-2000s. Mid-2000s, yeah.
2005, they ruined everything. It was really whenever I guess the economy crashed. Anyways,
I
not.
don't know.
So, what have you
So
been trying to avoid getting into?
I was hanging out with Richie and Britt earlier this week, or Jeff and Britt earlier this week, and we all three have the same interests in all kinds of stuff. Even though Jeff's older than us, he still has the same interests as we do in a lot of stuff. But Britt and I, we're like two peas in a pod. I mean, we love everything the same pretty much. And so we got to talking, and I forgot how we got on the topic. We started talking about Goosebumps, and I was just like,
Oh
man,
Lord.
I loved Goosebumps, bro. I read that like it. That was the only thing I think I can remember reading as a kid, but I read
Yeah.
the shit out of Goosebumps. I watched the show every day. And Britt was like, "Man, I have a full run of the original ones Jeff got me for Christmas one year." I was like, "Dude, how have I never thought about that?" And I was just like, "That would be cool as hell." So now that's what that's my thing. I'm gonna start hunting. I want to put together a complete set of original Goosebumps, the complete first set. I want to get all of them, but I want to get copies. I'm not going to try to find like perfect copies, but I want copies that the spines look good. So when I get them lined up, they look kind of nice. Not torn and beat up. I want to read through them again, and so I started looking, and holy crap, so expensive, man.
I bet.
Like people have whole sets out there, but they cost you like $400, which honestly, when you think about it, I mean, it's like 70 something books. So it's not terrible, but then you start looking at the condition on them and it's like, this might be something I have to like find them and pick them up individually. And then I start going down the rabbit hole and then I see that they have Goosebumps bookends. And I'm like, oh my God, how great would these look lined up with the bookends on each side on that entertainment center you gave me right here in the comic book room.
Telling you, dude, it's a
And
sick.
then I find out like they have a Slappy. Slappy was the dummy. What do they call that? The dummies where you move your mouth or you don't move your mouth and make the dummy talk.
I
Like
don't
Jeff
know.
Dunham.
Oh yeah.
So
Something
Slappy,
dolls, delinquent. No, what is it? Shoot, I don't remember, man.
I can't remember either. But anyway, um, so they did a Slappy, and he's like in this Goosebumps book bag deal, a ventriloquist. Yeah, so he's the ventriloquist dummy from the Goosebumps series, one of the most iconic characters from that series, bar none. And they sell like real deal Slappy dolls in this Goosebumps book bag, and they're not very expensive at all. But I was like, oh my God, that would be super cool to have, and just something cool to add to my room for display purposes. Then I find out that R.L. Stein's going to be in Atlanta this month, and I'm like, holy shit! Now I got to find me a Goosebumps #1 and get R.L. Stein to sign it. Like that would be killer as hell, right? Got to do that. So that's one rabbit hole I've been in really hard. And then, of course, I start looking for hats and t-shirts. Like, Jesus Christ. Well, then, and I don't even know if I want to talk about this because I swear to God, I feel like anytime I talk about something, it ends up on some hot 10 list, or then I have people that I'm having to compete with to get the shit. And it might be something nobody cared about before, but Dustin started talking about it. So now everybody wants it. But there's some original art that I have been able to find the artist that created it. And it is from some very special comics to me. And this art is not just art from the original art from the comics. This is original concept art for the comic book for one of the major characters.
Yeah.
And the guy reached out to me and said, I would be interested in selling this. And I was like, oh, no effing way. I will sell everything I own, bro. Just tell me how much. He still hasn't hit me back with a price. So I'm hoping that that comes through very soon, and I get to do a video and show you guys that, because one of my goals for 2023 was to have a big surprise pickup, something I didn't know I needed, but that I just could not do without. Once I found
Yeah.
it, this would be it. Absolutely. So I don't know what else I would pick up this year, but I don't see anything beating this if I'm able to get this original art. So that's something exciting. Plus, I went on eBay. I found another original art for a later series, same brand or whatever, same universe. So I'm probably going to try to pick that up too, because it's really cheap. So I'm hoping I'm not going down the original art path now, because that is not what I want to do.
No. Not
What's
at all.
up, Russ? The best Southern presser. Hey, man. He
Maybe
said. He said.
maybe you should change your name to Best Southern Presser. Pretty good name, actually.
Anytime that I jump on Sands and I jump in the chat and Sean's in there, I'll say, "Hey, look, man, what's going on to the second best presser in Georgia?"
Too
Always
funny.
giving him some crap. Mountain Peak, what's going on? Long time no see. So yeah, that's where I've been this week, is balls deep in the freaking eBay and Macari and everywhere, looking for Goosebumps stuff. So if you guys are out and you see original Goosebumps, and the books look like they're in nice shape and they're priced pretty reasonable, I'm trying to pick them up for like $5 or less, unless it's like the Night of the Living Dummy or the first one or Haunted Mask. There's certain ones I know are going to be more expensive. But if you run across some Goosebumps books and they're in nice shape and you think about it, man, hit me up on Instagram and let me know, because that's something I'm going to do this year. I'm going to put them all together. Hopefully, and I'm still debating on whether or not to go into the VHSs. For some reason, a couple weeks ago, I picked up 3 VHSs off of an Elite sale. I don't collect VHSs, but now I have 4 of them. So who knows? I got a TMNT, original TMNT 1 VHS, number 3, and Flintstones, because I loved that damn Flintstones movie. I don't know how many times we watched that growing up, but I know I've seen it at least 100,000. John Goodman's the best Fred Flintstone that there ever will be. And even though I can't stand her ass, Rosie O'Donnell was an absolute perfect Betty Rubble. So they did a great
Yeah.
job with the casting on that movie. I absolutely loved it. Loved it. So nice. Owns an original Herb Trimpe. Awesome. Yeah, the original art I'm getting, I think a lot of people think it's cool, but, and you'll understand if I'm able to get this and you see the video of me showing it. There's nobody else on this planet, and this is not me trying to be all huffy puffy, but I think Nick would even agree. Nobody on this planet should have this original artwork if the artist doesn't want it, except me. I'm the only one, because nobody else has the passion for this shit that I do, and I'm the only guy that should have it. I just got to get this guy to understand that, so that he takes that into account when he's coming up with this damn price.
Did he say did he ever get back to you?
Not with the price yet. I am terrified of what it's going to be, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. So I'm hoping I can get him to sign it at the bottom, maybe even print me up a COA that I can have it framed with, not for resale purposes, but just so I can that way I can, have it framed up nice and be able to show people like, look, it's legit, dude. This is what this is.
Yeah. Pretty dang cool.
Oh yeah, Halle Berry was a babe in Flintstones. Yes. Yes, and I'm pretty sure that movie came out right around puberty. So, whoo boy, Halle Berry in that Flintstones costume was whoo wee, what a babe.
Too funny.
Just bad. See what the kids nowadays, looking at these, ugh, the terrible stuff that they're seeing, that they're like, oh, that girl's hot. Like, nah, man, y'all don't know hot. You go look at Halle Berry in a damn Flintstones ankle length loincloth. That's hot.
Brandon, I just copied the link for this in there. So I'm sure you could probably find it cheaper or like a DIY it yourself kind of deal. Um, but yeah. Anywho's. So do we want to talk about our topics while everyone is gathered here today?
I guess so. I'm gonna let you take the driver's seat on this one.
Okay.
Move Nick over here
All
and
right.
let him drive.
This is the first dumb thing. Okay. So as you know, I think James Gunn is dumb. We'll leave it as that. We'll leave it at that. Oh, I'll tell you what. Let's do this first. Random, but who's a character, not spec or anything, but just under. So I wish Spider-Man was being given more love. I know he's not necessarily underappreciated, but Marvel hates this man, Peter Parker specifically. I don't know why they want him to be just miserable, and in the last 2 decades have done nothing of value with him. But that's just me. And now, if you're talking about movies, what would be I Sharona?
It's
That's a
funny
song.
that he asked this question because we literally just had this conversation last night, and
Mhm.
you said Spider-Man and I said Superman. Two
Yeah,
iconic characters that are well known and well loved, but they get completely shit on in comic books
yep.
and every other part of anything that has to do with the characters. They are not given any spotlight. They're not given um, any love with putting top tier writers and stuff like that on them. I think it's an absolute shame that they do that. But you know why they do it is because they don't have to. They can sell those characters based on their name alone and put the good artists and good writers on stuff that needs it, I guess. I mean,
I don't know,
so
man. It's wild. I really don't
I
understand it.
think, and I also think that the Thing is very, very underappreciated because he is a wonderful, fantastic character, as well as Submariner.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think who, like, outside of just Spider-Man, I think would and if we're talking about comic books, I mean, honestly, like, modern comic books are it's so hard this could be a literal hours-long conversation if
Hey,
we're
Spot
honest.
Pete, aka the Trapster, definitely.
Oh my god. At least he didn't say the mole man.
I don't care what anybody says. Pay Spot Pete, aka the Trapster, he is a legit dude.
Oh my god. I don't even know what's wrong with you. Um, honest to goodness, guys, I this could be such a long conversation because I don't think modern comics, a lot of them, 90% of them, are doing justice by a lot of their great
You got
characters.
it, Dan. You know you always got a ticket, bro.
Unless when comparing them to like the silver and bronze and that kind of era, and I feel like there was some real love, and I feel like now I just I'm trying not to poop all over it and feel like I'm just hating on things to hate on it, but it's just after reading all of these really nice
Wholesome.
silver and just the love and I don't know, it's just not the same. And there's been don't get me wrong, like there's some really good stories that have happened and like Donny Cates' Venom and apparently Donny Cates has been in some issues lately. Um
I
um
haven't heard about that.
not following through on some of these Kickstarter type
I mean,
things.
F him anyways. I think everybody knows how I feel about it, but
Yeah. So, but anywho's,
except for when it came to crossover, I like that. But I
yeah.
never did
So
finish
I
the
mean,
last
there's like,
issue.
there's a lot of decent stuff, but like, there's not been a Marvel or DC book that has excited me in
Mm-mm.
about 2 years now.
Well, it's been a year for me,
What was the last
maybe
one
a
for you?
year and a half. The last thing I was reading that I really enjoyed from DC or Marvel, um, we both really enjoyed that Jason Aaron run on Avengers for a little while there.
That's been about 2 years.
Has it really?
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, it's been a long time.
Wow.
James
And
Tynan's Batman's been
I
about
was
2
gonna
years.
say, I know there was a lot of people that hated Tynan's Batman run, but I was like head over heels for it, man. I mean, that was when it was time to talk Batman on Burke's Thursday night. I mean, I took the reins on that and I broke that shit all the way
Yeah.
down and explained why I loved every bit of it. So if it's been 2 years since those, then yeah, I guess it's been 2 years for me too, because um yeah, we were both reading Venom, we were both reading Thor. And honestly, like that was the last time that I remember turning on YouTube or flipping through Instagram and seeing people universally talking about how good
Mhm.
this is and how good this is. People were talking about Venom. People were talking about Thor. People were talking about Batman. People were talking about Something's Killing the Children. There were different titles and stories in modern comics that everyone was talking about. And I haven't seen that in a long time. And I had someone ask me recently, like, what I thought was, best comic for 2022. It was Alan. Alan
Yep.
asked me about what I thought the best comic for 2022 was, and I said, dude, I couldn't tell you. I said, I didn't read
Mhm.
them, and I did not see enough people talking about any of them to even say what I think the general
Mhm.
consensus would be. I know that there are a lot of people out there that are still reading comics that are modern stuff, but I don't see the excitement about any of it like we
Yeah.
had 2 years ago. Um, and that's I hate it. I really do. It's not that I don't want to read new comic books. It's not that I don't want to go in to my LCS every week,
Yeah.
hang out and talk to the guys and spend some money with those guys and hang out with the people that come in. It's not something that I don't want to do. I definitely want to, but I'm not going to spend money just to spend money on it when I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to enjoy it. So,
Yeah, that's why I put all of my manga at Josh's to
yeah,
continue to support him. So,
I
did
liked
Bruce
that
ever get
Chip
his fortune back?
Zdarsky. I was enjoying the Chip Zdarsky, the Batman, not the current Batman run. It was the I am Bat. No, not I am Batman. It was like the Bruce Wayne becoming Batman story that Zdarsky was writing. I read like the first 3 or 4 issues of that. And then I don't know. I just kind of lost on that too. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, man. It sucks though. It sucks that there's nothing that good right now that I see enough people talking about it that it makes
Yeah.
me want to pick it up and read it.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
I've,
So
I've, I've
it's
had 2 people tell me, well, and then tonight would be 3. I've had 3 people tell me you guys should check out the new FF run. Josh, Allen, I forget who said it tonight.
yeah.
Um, but other than
FF
that,
and
like,
apparently the Daredevil run's pretty good.
yeah, I mean, apparently Daredevil's been solid from the beginning, but Daredevil's not a character that I've ever had a lot of
Exactly.
interest in
Yeah.
getting into either. So, um, but anyway, we got kind of way off on that. But I feel like in general, there's a big gap missing as far as comic book content goes, where you don't have people. Talking about comics they're reading, about stuff they're collecting, showing stuff they've been picking
Yeah.
up. And I don't blame them because there's a lot of work to make these videos. And when you do it and nobody watches it because you're not providing a bunch of controversy or talking about a bunch of drama. And I'm not shitting on anybody that does that at all. But when that's not what you're doing, you're not getting the click rates, you're not getting the
Yep.
views, and therefore you feel like it's not appreciated and it's not wanted. And therefore you're just like, well, I'm not going to do it then. When I get something that I think is cool, I'll do a video.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just like I'm spending a lot of time away from my wife and my kids and my family and time I could be doing other things to make something that nobody cares about. So it just, I don't know. I hope some stuff changes this year though, because I feel like since I don't know, I don't know when it changed, but the last few years definitely are not. This is not the same community or or just in general, the hobby is not the same as it was when we jumped in, and it was just like, oh my gosh, dude, like this is, everything was just so great, you know.
Yeah, I don't know,
So
man.
I hope some stuff changes and we're able to get back to that point where everybody's just enjoying this hobby together and enjoying, talking about this
Uh
stuff,
oh,
showing it off and stuff like that.
Empire said the first three and it wasn't good. He said it wasn't good.
Oh, well, Empire's another guy that's like me, man. My man loves to collect that nostalgia stuff, man. I love watching his hauls and seeing the stuff he picks up, and then sometimes I don't like it because I'm like, oh shit, bro. Like, I mean, I
That's why I got to
knew
stay
there
off it
like,
because
I
I will
knew there
start
was a
buying
Saved by the
stuff.
Bell #1, bro, but I wasn't really looking for it. But now I know Zach Morris is gonna be at Huntsville Comic Con, so I'm kind of like, I gotta find
What?
one that's really nice so I can get it signed, right? Like, how do I not get Zach Morris to sign Saved by the Bell #1?
That
I
is
feel like
so
that is a
silly.
necessary thing to happen for me. I
Too
watched
funny.
all of those, including the college years. I don't like the new one worth a damn, but yeah, he collects a lot of that stuff too, man. Just
That is
just weird,
hilarious.
goofy stuff that would be, well, it's weird and goofy to people who don't get it, but I get it. So when I watch them, I'm like, my man, dude. Like, I don't care about all that shit you picked up. That's Saved by the Bell, anything that was from a franchise or a cartoon or a TV show from the '90s. Like, I'm all about it, bro. I just bought something today. What did I buy today? It was like the most goober thing ever. And I still bought it because I was just like, nostalgia, bro. Got to. It was from Nexo. I did pick it up from Nexo. Let me see, because you guys are going to laugh at me. And I don't care. I don't care because I know it's goofy. I mean, it's just like the most goober thing. Oh, Kung Fu Panda #1. Hagen loves Kung Fu
That's
Panda. So
cool.
I'll get him a Kung Fu Panda to put up,
That's not goofy. That's cool. I really like that. I think that's really cool. What else? Oh, you know what'd be cool is do they have Angry Bird comics?
I don't think so.
That would
I
be
never
cool.
watched 90210.
I don't even know what that is, so
Ooh,
probably
that's nice, dude. First Punisher, signed by Stan Lee, 6'5" for $24.95. Dude, that's not even $1,000 more than you paid for a 3.0 with half a damn book missing. You suck, bro. All right, let's get into this topic. Oh, wait. Let's answer that question that was asked earlier.
Oh, the con question. Bronze page. How do you it was like how do you um
It was something about the Comic Cons.
yeah, and it's about how you use your money there or get the most bang for your buck out of your money. Bronze page, if you're still here, hey guys, how do you get the most out of your money at comic conventions? I know this is your opinion.
Oh,
So,
okay. Are you talking about
Dustin,
as a buyer or a seller?
I would say as a buyer. So
Okay.
Dustin, why don't you go ahead because that's really more your thing. For me,
Yeah.
I walk up, make a stupid offer, and when people say yes, I'm like, damn
Or he doesn't even make an offer. He'll
it.
just
Yeah.
buy it for what it is, or I'll talk them down on it and then he pays them more because he feels bad. And I'm like, you can't feel bad for these guys. They're not going to say yes if they're not still making money. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, now I know a lot of like honestly, I think most of the dealers we bought from, I
Yeah.
know. So
Yeah, now we've become friends with most of the guys we buy from. So
like Bobby,
yeah, Bobby, the guys at Dangerously Terrific,
Jeremy, although he's
Spinner
never gonna give
Rack,
me a deal.
Jeremy, all those guys. Yeah, and like they're friends, but I don't care. I'm still not paying you what you're asking. I don't give a shit. But they know that.
Well, especially, knowing how they get these books and how lucky they're getting.
Oh yeah.
Or they're not even their dang books. It's Bobby went to Richie's house and
Yeah, that's one thing with yeah. Anyway, so for me, couple things. One, um, if you're going into a Comic Con and you're looking for specific books, you need to go in there ahead of time knowing, do I want it raw? Do I want it graded? Does it
you wanna
matter?
raw dog it.
If you want
Also,
it raw, then you need to, number one, you need to know how to determine grades. You need to be able to look at a book and determine what you think the estimated grade would be on that, with a press and a clean. If you do that, but you also need to be able to tell what it is beforehand, and do not let them charge you if they say, "Oh yeah, but if you get it pressed and clean, it's going to get to this." Like, I don't give a shit. That's not what it looks like now. I'm paying you for what it looks like right now.
Right meow.
And I ran into that last year with that Edge of Spider-Verse 2. The guy was like, if you get it pressed and I'm like, no, 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 no. It's not pressed and clean right now. So we're
Yeah.
going to talk about what it looks like right now. And so if you're looking at raws, you need to be able to look at books and tell what you think that the condition is going to be, and you need to know going into it what those books run in price in different conditions. I'm not saying you got to know all of it, but low grades sell in this general area, mid grades in this general area, high grade in this general area. You need to know this information, and that way you're not standing there with your phone out, because when you get that phone out, they think you're up to something. That automatically tells them, "Oh man, what's going on? Is this book hot now? Is it on a list? Did something happen right that I didn't know about?" So do your homework, know your shit before you walk in the show. And when you're looking at these books, don't just look at the front cover and say, "Oh, okay, it looks like so and so." No, 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 no. If they don't want you to open the book, you ask them if they can open the book. Take it out. I want to see. I want to count pages. I want to look at the
Ooh,
staple.
Dustin. Video idea. Do this before buying a comic book at a comic convention.
I already am. Oh yeah, it's on the list.
Clear, concise. Do it pretty quickly because that's con season's coming up.
Yeah, and somebody's probably going to do it tomorrow now. So, but this is stuff that I see all the time. Now, especially now that I'm President Clean, and I see people all the time buy books, never even took it out of the bagging board, send it straight to me. I start flipping through it, and I'm like, "Did you know about this? Did you know about this? Did you know about this?" Well, no, and I'm like, "You got to look at these books, guys. Okay, open the book up, count those pages, look at the panels, see if there's anything written on them, see if there's drawings inside of them, look for staining on the inside of them, look at the staples. Are they connected? Are they attached? Do they look like they are from that era, or do they look brand new? And you're looking at a 1960s book and it's got staples that look like they just came out last week. Are there rust on those staples? These are all things that you can look for. And every little thing wrong with these books, you mention it and you beat them up about it. And I know that's a dick thing to say, but again, like I said, no one's going to sell you a book if they're not still making money on it. And if you're looking to get the best deal you can, that's what you have to do. You have to look at them, find the imperfections, and show them to them. Let them know, I see this. I know what I'm talking about. And if they think that you know what you're talking about, then they know, all right, I'm not going to, that's going to cut a lot of the bullshit out. And that's what you want. You don't want to stand there dicking around with these guys for an hour over $20. Be like, look, this has got this, and this wrong with it. You're asking this much. They're selling for this much and around this grade. I'll offer you this. And if they say no, give it back to them, walk away. Somebody is going to work with you. If you're looking for graded stuff, you don't have to do all that, obviously. Check the book, check the case over, make sure it doesn't look like it's been cracked or anything, make sure it's not beat up or damaged or anything like that. But again, know what the prices are on these books in the grade you're looking for, have an idea of what they're going for, and recent sales. Make sure you're looking at 90-day averages, because sometimes the most recent sale, because I sell stuff too, sometimes I don't give a shit about that most recent sale, because it could have been just some weird fluke thing where a $500 book sold for $50 because nobody was paying attention, or maybe it was just some weird like happenstance where somebody put it up there and had their wife hit buy it now so they could drop the price on the book so they could try to get a copy for cheaper later. People do this shit. It's not crazy to think this. Just like they'll put a book up for a crazy price and use another account to buy it so it jumps the price up. That stuff happens. So look at averages. Look at this. Know the data behind the sales on these books that you're looking for. It's just like studying for a test. If you want to get the best deals on these books, you're gonna have to put in the work for it. Con season for me is, it's not something that I just walk in and, just go willy nilly about it. Like I know what I'm looking for. I know my prices. I know how much I have. I know what I'm willing to spend. And most of the time I already know what they're going to be asking for it. So I already have an idea of what ballpark I'm going to be shooting for. And I'll walk around before I buy anything. I'll walk around and I'll find every copy of this book I'm looking for. I'll find every one of them. If it's graded, then, whichever ones are the grade and the price are closest to what I want, that's where I'm going to go. If they're raw, then I'll find who's got the copy that's the nicest, if that's what I'm looking for, and then we're going to work from there. So, best thing you can do is just, like I said, know your stuff and don't make some crazy low ball offer, because you're just going to piss them off, and then you're not getting $1 off. Because I know that I've had people do that to me. I've got a $500 book. You come up and offer me 200 or 250 or 275. I'm going to tell you to kick rocks. Nah, like I probably
Unless
would
you're like
come
me
down.
and you walk up and offer Bobby like several $100s cheaper when he has it listed for, and he says yes, and then you're like, well, F word, I really didn't want this.
Yeah,
Especially, yeah,
yeah. I mean, if they've got a $500 book and you want to see, I usually will try to work
like
around like
10% is
30%.
probably, huh?
I'll start with a 30% off offer. And if I can get them to give me 20% off or 15% off, somewhere in that, then I'm good.
Yeah,
But I'm not going to hit them with a low ball offer of 50% or more off. I'll hit them with something that's going to give working room for us to go back and forth a little, but it's
yeah,
not going to piss them off. And sometimes you're just going to get a dickhead behind the table that doesn't want to come off of nothing. Like
yeah,
Pancake Guy, we love him, but he ain't coming off a dime on his damn
and
books.
he
He don't
knows
give
it
a
too.
damn, and he's
He
still
said,
got his books priced at 2020 prices. But sometimes you're gonna run into people that aren't gonna budge, and you just have to
yeah,
realize like this guy's not gonna budge, and you got to roll out, because now you're wasting time, and somebody could be buying that book for a better price at a different booth. So,
and timing, generally you're not going to get the best deals at the very beginning of the con. It's always going to be at the very last day, but you're going to get like the ability to find
yeah,
those unicorn deals that are already out there priced well, that maybe they haven't updated
hmm,
pricing in a while, or they're in a certain bin that they didn't realize they had it in, that kind of thing. That's
yeah,
when you're going to get the most bang for your buck at the beginning. And then on Sundays, people do not want to pack the crap up and take it back home
nope,
because they're traveling for 5, 6 or plus hours. It's a lot of heavy work.
yep,
They've been standing on their feet for 4 or 5 days straight, depending on how long the con is. They want books gone.
yeah,
And when people are miserable, they're willing to make deals.
yeah.
And
Cash is another thing.
cash is
It's
king.
untraceable, it's non-taxable, and they are willing to, like, hey,
Big discounts on cash.
if you pay me cash, that means I don't have to pay taxes on this. That means you don't have to pay taxes on it. So we're both saving money now. I don't have to report this on my income. Cash is going to do very well for you as well. Bundling books, bundling stuff is going to do well for you as well. I mean, that's another thing. And then there's the other thing you got to think about too. Like there's some books out there that they don't come up, like that Sentai #2. I almost didn't even try to get them to come down on the price on it. And they came off of it like $300 anyway. But I would have paid them what they asked for. If they would have said no, I'd have said, okay, give it to me, because it doesn't come out. It doesn't come up. I'll never see another copy in person again. I guarantee it. But sometimes you're going to get stuff like that where they're like, they know what they got. They know how hard
Yeah.
it is to find it, especially if it's like some crazy high grade, and you're just going to have to either suck it up or walk away. But you gotta know that going into it. The way you're not like, oh, this is bull crap. He wouldn't come off of it at all. It's like, well, if there's only like 4 of them on the planet and he's got a quarter of the entire available product, and maybe the other 3 are sitting in somebody's lockbox, never going anywhere. So all things to consider for sure.
Yeah.
Good question though. Good question. I love talking about that shit. I love it. Like, conventions has gotten to be one of my favorite things in this hobby, is getting ready for these conventions, knowing how much money am I going to be able to take. Okay, I'm taking this amount of money. What am I looking for? What prices am I looking for on it? Am I looking for raw? Am I looking for graded? Am I looking for this printing or that printing? And I love it. And the hunt. A lot of people, I think, really don't and don't. I think a lot of people really short themselves on the fun of the hunt by just jumping online and buying it, man. Like, it's so fun to dig around and spend an entire weekend looking for something, and then you finally find it. Oh my god, dude, it feels so good. When I found that Walking Dead #1, I went to
Yeah.
every booth in that convention. I was looking at all the walls. The very last booth I looked at the first day we were there, it was sitting on the bottom shelf, 6 inches from the ground, behind the guy's leg. I almost didn't see it, but when I saw it, I was so pumped about that. And that's to me, that's one of the best feelings in this hobby is hunting for something and
Mhm.
spending that time and putting that effort in it and having the satisfaction of I found it. It makes a lot more special to own the book than just opening a package from eBay, which I do that too. But that the thrill of the hunt is fun. Most time if I buy it on eBay, it's either too good of a deal or the thrill of the hunt has lasted too many years, and I got to do it.
Joshua, I cannot believe that thing is still good.
What's up, Josh?
Also, Josh, check out my shirt, dude. It's beyond amazing.
Josh, tell Nick. You and Nick need to figure out when we're going to do the 24-hour at Haven Day.
I'm only coming if I can be fully nude the whole time.
Yeah, okay.
New stipulation.
Just so you know, Josh, Nick is literally the only holdup on that. I've been ready to do it since middle of last year. So just like everything else, Nick is the only holdup.
Josh said it's okay to be fully nude the whole time. I'm down.
Okay. His shirt's not as cool as mine, Josh, but that's fine.
It's way better.
All right, so let's get on to
Yeah, real quick, because we've already spent an hour and a half talking about really fun stuff, and I don't want to bring the mood down. So, as I was mentioning earlier, I think James Gunn is a terrible human being. Pedophilia jokes are never funny, and I think putting somebody like that in charge of DC
Hold on a
Studios.
second. Hold on a second. Everybody but Alan, close your eyes. Okay, you guys can open your eyes again.
So I think putting him in charge is just ridiculous. But anyways, and then you have The Rock basically being told, nah, we're not going to really do much with you right now, if ever. And I think they're probably just doing that to appease him. And then Henry Cavill is being, ousted. But yet we're still going to keep on this child groomer and, this person who, was beaten up, I believe, on women in Hawaii and breaking into people's houses, stealing alcohol. We're still going to move forward with this person. So really dumb shit. It's like one creep protecting another creep. It's just, yeah, not a big fan. Not a big fan
Yeah.
at all. And
No,
then
I
moving,
agree on that. I mean,
it really bugs me a lot
yeah,
knowing
and
who's in
and I
charge.
feel like if this were certain other people, then I'm not even going to go there. But
Yeah,
there are people who have been blackballed and removed
for
for
much less.
much less, and everybody was okay with that, and everybody applauded it, and everybody was great and happy
Yeah,
with it. They tried to do it to why can't I think of his name? Star Lord.
yeah, Chris Pratt.
Yeah, they wanted Chris Pratt gone. Everybody's lobbying to get Chris Pratt gone, but yet everybody. Why is like we don't you don't hear anybody. Nobody's standing up and grabbing their pitchforks and their torches to come after DC for continuing to let Ezra Miller and his movie go forward. I mean,
Yeah,
it makes no sense to me. We wanted to raise a big fuss because a shitty Batgirl movie didn't get made or didn't get released that literally showed no promise of being good at all.
yeah,
But yet there's literal proof of the shit that this guy does, and there's nothing. It's just crickets. So yeah, I agree with you on that. And I think them kind of giving Rock the cold shoulder is definitely not a smart thing, because you could tell Rock wanted to, selfish reasons or not, Rock wanted to be
he wanted to take care
the
of the fans.
savior of DC. He wanted to be the guy that was able to say, I had a lot to do with DC moving in the right direction. And I think he did a lot of really good things and was trying to do a lot of good things. But I think what it comes down to is it's an ego thing. I think that I don't think James Gunn wants to share that. If DC does end up becoming, really great as far as the movies are concerned, I don't think he wants to share that that spotlight with anyone else. He wants to be able to say, "I did it."
Yeah.
And as far as him, you know, if we just look at him as just strictly doing the job, um, I think that it was a smart move. I think that you're getting that Kirby Smart situation here. Where
Yeah.
Kirby learned under the man who was literally running the nation for years, and then he steps out, and now he's the guy. He knows the algorithm, and he understands how things work and what works and what doesn't work, and he understands how to make things successful.
Yeah.
But he also is able to say, I also know how to improve on them and make them better because you were lacking here and you were falling short here. So, as far as that's concerned, I think it was a smart move. Then bringing him in, uh, when we just look at him as the director and that kind of thing. I mean, outside of all the other stuff, I think that it was a smart move. I mean, he's produced some of my favorite films with Guardians. I mean,
Yeah.
there's been nothing Guardians that I have not
Yeah.
loved. So,
Yeah.
outside of him, with some really, really outlandish, shitty things that he said. And a lot of people say we should just let stuff like that go. But
I,
these are the same people that go digging around on other people's old messages and stuff. And we want to cancel them and make them
look,
apologize and create an uproar about it. And I'm just like, look, if we can't have a double standard just
no.
because of whatever reason, like, if we're gonna, and I hate the cancel culture shit.
Well,
I
that's what I
really
was about to
do.
say is everybody like because I've talked about it multiple times and people give me a hard time. On our Instagram, it's always me, it's not Dustin. But they're always like, oh, you're just, cancel culture. It was just jokes. It was this, that, and another. And I'm like, look, there's a few things in the world. Like I think comedy should basically be 99%. Whatever you want to make jokes about, go ahead. But a few things I can't get behind or jokes like pedophilia, things like that. And whenever, dudes showing up at pedo themed parties, and if you look at some of the things he's actually said and you can see the videos on, that basically crosses all lines for me, um, at any level. And anybody defending this type of behavior, we've gotten to a pretty rough place in the world where this is being, defended, right? That's just not cool. So, not yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I did see, and a
it's
lot of that stuff.
disgusting.
I mean, I don't do the Twitter thing, Instagram for my pressing and cleaning, and Nick pretty
Yeah,
much. I mean, I post a lot on ours too, but usually it's like, hey, look at this book I picked up, or hey, look at this video that
yeah,
just came out. But Nick does all our new stuff.
yeah.
I can't even get into that kind of stuff because I can't do it.
Yeah. It just, like I said, it rubs me the wrong way. James
No,
Gunn,
I agree. I agree.
he does great movies, and let me be specific. He does very specific good kind of movies.
Yeah.
But I still can't get behind,
No,
somebody
no,
with
I,
that kind
I'm
of
I'm
background.
with you. That's why I
It,
said, like,
I can't.
if we look at the decision to put him in charge just based on like his line of work, solely that, like you can't argue with it a whole lot. But at the same time, we can't
You can't
decide
sell your
who gets a
soul for some
pass.
money.
We can't decide who gets a. You can't say this person gets a pass because of this reason on because they but this person, no, they did something so small that it was literally nothing, but we're gonna destroy their entire life over it. It's
Yeah.
it's shitty for sure.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. But
But Ezra Miller, I
and yeah,
I think we both agree. Fuck Ezra Miller. Like
100%.
regardless,
Yeah. Yeah.
fuck
That
that
whole
guy.
thing. I never liked him before all this stuff about him started
I
coming
thought he
out.
was. I didn't like the Flash. I didn't like him as the Flash at all.
Dude,
Like
it was bad.
he's an irritating bitch.
And I want to
I don't like the way
say
he looks. I don't like the way his face is. I don't like the way he
tough.
talks.
So so let's hit a few of these. So KCJ 15. So yeah, I don't think Grant's a good enough. I think Grant's a fine rom-com Flash for CW. And God, I loved it early on. But yeah, I don't think he should come on either. And then do you guys want The Rock to come to the MCU? If so, who could he play? Is that Hyperion? No, Hyperion maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Honestly,
I
I
don't
don't.
know.
So let me be clear. I'm not a massive fan of The Rock. Just, I mean, I think he's a good person or whatever, and I think he does a lot of great things. But like, he plays basically the same role in 99% of his
Yep.
movies. I enjoy them. They're great popcorn movies. Are they? Are they like
I appreciate what
masterpieces?
I think both of us can agree. Like our appreciation as far as Dwayne The Rock Johnson goes is his ability to always find success in whatever it is. Even in shit that people say they don't like, he's
Yeah,
still coming out successful on the other end of it. Like the
yeah,
dude is a marketing genius.
yeah.
He has taken himself from absolute nothing to being, whether you agree or not, all I ever hear when it comes to what movies are good and what aren't, money don't lie. Well, that motherfucker gets paid more than everybody. So I
Yeah.
mean, that's where my appreciation comes from. I think he seems like from the stuff you see, uh, seems like a great person. You never ever hear him being in the middle of some scandal or anything like that. He's
No, worst things he's
entertaining.
doing is lying about being natural.
Yeah, and like who gives a damn about that? Like that
Yeah.
shit doesn't
So,
matter.
but again,
Uh,
like we're not elevating him to say he's the greatest actor in the
no,
world.
no.
That
Would
stands
I
for
hang
Michael
out
B.
with him and
Jordan.
drink some Terramana or whatever it's called? Hell
I do
yeah,
have
let's
some in the
drink some
fridge.
tequila.
I actually have
I hate
some.
tequila, but I'll get drunker than shit with the Rock and sit there and we'll
And he
talk
was in
some shit
Georgia for a
drinking.
while, or still is too.
Nah, he sold the house. He did live like 20 minutes
Yeah,
from me though. I've driven past the old house, but
that's crazy. But
you know,
yeah.
the
So
guy's driving down the road and sees like people see him and notice it's him, start freaking out, and he stops in traffic and takes pictures with them. Like,
dude,
he just seems like he's appreciative, and he doesn't seem like one of those guys that doesn't keep home close. He
yeah.
doesn't forget where he's come from. He doesn't act like he's better than anyone. So
My
I think
biggest
there's a
respect.
lot of things about him that I think there's more things about him to like than there are to dislike. And I think that anything you dislike about him is you just hating. I mean, you
Yeah,
can't dislike anything about him. He's beautiful. He's hilarious. I mean, I'm fully comfortable enough in my sexuality to say like the dude's beautiful. Like Jesus Christ. I mean, so
and he seems like, but for me, my biggest respect comes from him is he cares about the fans, and we saw that with Black Adam
exactly.
and kind of what he did and being
Yeah.
very true to the comics for the most
Who would
part.
have
The
thought
comic,
the biggest excuse me, I'll put it this way so it's not controversial. The highest paid movie star on the freaking planet for how many years in a row shows up at San Diego Comic-Con in a superhero costume.
yeah, so cool,
When
man.
has something like that
Yeah,
happened?
that's what I'm saying. He truly loves the fans, and I love that. And it's not, and he fought. That was the whole thing with Henry Cavill bringing him back. He went over people's heads, which you
Yeah.
know what, Hamada sucked anyways. Clearly, he has not done a great job. But I have never been more excited for the future of DC in the moment when I walked out of Black Adam, knowing that Henry Cavill was coming back. I went back
Yeah.
and rewatched Superman, and I was freaking, or Man
Yeah.
of Steel, I was freaking pumped. And then
Yeah.
James Gunn is announced, and I'm like, oh, yay, the pedophile is going to be in charge of DC. Can't really be excited. And honestly, it's probably for the best that The Rock and Henry Cavill are no longer associated because, like I said on Instagram, DC is just going to turn into one massive fart joke. Like what was it? John Cena's series. Even though I enjoyed it, I don't want the entire.
I just want to correct your statement here. From has great stories to has the best stories. You are
Yeah,
definitely right, sir.
I
We agree.
think so. I'm truly convinced at this point.
Yeah. My thing is everybody keeps wanting to play, and I understand it's understandable, like why this is the conversation that's had, but everybody wants to play this whole, all this guy, is no longer at DC. So what could they do at Marvel? Maybe
Yeah,
they should go to Marvel to stick it to DC. And I don't think that's always should be the case because I don't think that that's always going to be a transition that's going to work. Could Henry
yeah.
Cavill find a superhero that would work in Marvel? Sure. Could Rock?
Yeah.
Probably. But I don't think Rock really. I don't
The
think
thing
he,
with
even
Rock
though he
guys is
has
he's not old enough, or he's too old to
right,
sustain. He's
and I
gonna
don't
have
think
to
he,
start playing grandpa roles in the next 9 to 10 years. If he were to sign
yeah,
a contract with Marvel, right?
yeah,
By the time it's developed, produced, he's gonna
yeah.
be 60. How old is he now? 50?
I don't know, but to me, it's hard for me to buy
Yeah, he's
like
50.
I did with Black Adam. I did,
Yeah.
but it's hard for me to buy into him not being Dwayne Johnson or not being The Rock when I'm looking at him on screen.
Yeah.
So to put him into a role of a character in comics, that's why I like when they do the no name character, the no name um, actors as these characters or people that aren't super well known as these characters because that's who you see them as. It took a long time, I think, for people to see Robert Downey Jr. as anybody other than Robert Downey Jr. Now, and that was one of the ones that worked. Yeah,
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. I couldn't tell you another damn thing he's ever done. That's Iron Man. That's it.
Well, and
But I
RDJ
don't
was
think
not a
that
big
Rock could ever do that
yeah.
with a superhero character. So
No.
to me, I would just prefer that he go do other things.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, but like Robert Downey Jr. and some of these other characters that are, their sole identity is
I mean, Chris
being that
Pratt.
person.
I mean,
Chris Pratt. Well,
well,
Chris Pratt did have Parks and Recs,
I was
which
gonna
I know
say
you've never
he was
seen.
well known for that, but I think that he is like I think Chris Pratt will forever be Star Lord or that
Yeah.
dude from Jurassic Park at this point
Yeah.
for most people.
Yeah. And then the other half, it's Parks and Rec guy. He'll forever be. I mean, he's the total opposite. But RDJ is honestly one of the most phenomenal actors of our time. But during the time when he was cast as Iron Man, it was a big issue because he had just come out of jail.
Mhm.
All of these other issues going on. I mean, he was not anywhere close to what he is now. But he was perfect. But honestly, a lot of these characters that were cast. Chris Hemsworth. I mean, he did some stuff, but it was nothing over the
Yeah, he'll
top.
never be known as anything other than
No,
Thor.
Chris, what's his name? Captain America, same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was in Fantastic Four, but nobody remembers
yeah,
that.
he's Cap.
So, all of
Same
these
thing
guys
with
are really phenomenal
same thing with
actors.
what's her name? The second most perfect female that has ever walked. Oh my gosh, I forgot her name. Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah,
She's
dude.
Black Widow. That's it.
Although she does have a lot of phenomenal roles outside of that. I mean, a lot of these people do now, but
She does, but she's Black Widow.
yeah.
That's it.
I go back and rewatch Iron Man 2. I swear to God, that tone of the movie was so perfect.
I didn't hate Iron Man 2 or 3. And I also
Iron
but
Man
I
3
didn't
was
hate
different.
Thor Dark World either, so I don't
Yeah.
know, man.
But I'm saying Iron Man 2 when she was introduced and
Oh,
like
yeah. Oh,
she
yeah,
was
for sure.
bad.
Yeah.
And then it's like as they slowly progress, they just turned her into like this old lady, sweater type. I don't know, just different vibe.
My favorite was Avengers.
Yeah.
When she's
I
sitting
just
there on the
wish
phone in that chair, just kick the shit out of all
Yeah.
them dudes on strap. She's
Yeah.
like, I'm working. I'm almost getting the information out of them. They're like
Yeah.
beating her
Yeah.
ass, and she's stuck in this. Yeah, I love her. But
Florence
she's
Pugh, I
number
feel like
2
did a
because
really
to
good job.
me,
She's gonna be
Penny,
a good Black Widow.
yeah, she's
Um,
number 2 perfect female. Penny will always be perfect number 1
Penny.
though. From Big Bang Theory, bro. Haley
Oh,
Cooper.
yeah.
Oh
She's
my
kinda gone
god.
downhill a little bit. She did a show called Flight Attendant. Honestly, I find her kind
Well,
of
that's why I
annoying
said
out.
Penny.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's kind of annoying
12
outside of
seasons
anything.
of oh my god. My wife watches something with her in it, and she said it's wonderful. Flight Attendant might be it.
Yeah, it was
My
good,
wife
but
loves it.
she was still but anyways, what I was gonna say, um, what was I gonna say? We were talking about
Mhm.
Scarlett Johansson And oh, could you imagine being John Favreau, director of Iron Man 2, walking up to Scarlett Johansson and saying, "Look, here's what's about to go down. You're gonna come out here and you're gonna beat me up in a boxing ring and stick my head between your legs. Let's just make that happen."
Oh
Could
man,
you imagine being
I
John
would have
Favreau?
wrote a lot of scenes where that happened.
He did like he would like John Favreau is the GOAT.
You want to talk
I
about people that are underappreciated?
yeah. I mean, he has done
The
more
roles in all kinds of movies he's done. Like he's never
the
done a movie
acting,
where his
the
role
directing.
wasn't wonderful.
Yeah. Do you know he did the
Four
Elf?
Princesses, wonderful. What was that? Couples Retreat,
Mhm.
fantastic.
Yeah. But again,
Fine, you can go to Chili's alone. I don't. Yeah, I don't want to go to Chili's alone. Meet up at
Applebee's.
Chili's alone. Applebee's. Are
Yeah.
you saying you want to go to Applebee's? Maybe.
51st States, all of those, but his directing has been
Great.
even better.
Oh
He
yeah,
did the Elf, which was fun,
yeah,
obviously just like probably the biggest modern day Christmas movie
yeah,
classic
yeah.
outside
I
of maybe
think
Die
about
Hard.
Favreau.
Um,
And that's
all the
like,
Star Wars stuff he's done, and then
yeah.
what Josh is saying, his cooking. He did this movie called The Chef or something like that, and then did a
Oh
follow
yeah,
up
I
show.
watched that. It was good.
Oh yeah, but he took that very seriously.
Yeah.
I honestly, God, I
It's
think if
like
there
the
was a
food
few men in
truck.
the world, huh? Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was the food truck. That was really good.
That was a show. Did you see the movie?
I think the movie is what I saw.
Okay, but no, the food truck is a show.
Oh, okay. Then I just saw the
There's a
show.
very serious movie he was in where
Okay.
well, no, he did a food truck
Oh, I
movie.
did see the movie. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Because
yeah,
he was getting critiqued and they were shitting on his food. And
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I saw both.
And then the
Yeah.
show was whenever he's doing the food truck with
Right,
other
right, right, right.
people. Yeah,
With his son. And yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I saw both. I did.
So,
Um,
but
I, I think
John Favreau
Marvel.
might be one of the top 5 people I would sit down and want to have a conversations with, like
Oh, yeah,
Todd
for sure.
McFarlane, John Favreau, The Rock, because I think he's such an interesting
Yeah.
person. And I'm not sure what the last 2 would be if we're talking living people.
I'd have to hang with Brian Shaw for a minute, dude.
Oh, for sure, and Eddie Hall
Can we get Eddie
at
Hall
the
and
same
Brian
time.
as like a couple, as like a two
Look,
and one?
that's it. If I had 5 wishes of meeting people, it would be I don't know what order. Because I really want to talk to Todd McFarlane. I want to know what the F was up with Spider-Man. Um,
But the
but
only way you
Brian
can sit
Shaw and
down with
Eddie
Eddie
Hall,
Hall is you have to eat an entire thing of black pudding.
yeah, yeah, dude,
Yeah, I think without Favreau, um, Marvel would have definitely
yeah.
had some holes.
That's where I think Marvel needs to go. I think Kevin Feige, Favreau, need to bring everything back in under just the
Well,
2 of them.
could
Bring
you
Favreau
imagine?
back from Star Wars.
Yeah.
He's the one that did the Mando
Find a
stuff,
way to
and
well, the Russo brothers won't come back because they don't want anything to do with this multiverse shit, which I don't blame them.
yeah.
Could you imagine if DC was able to wrangle those guys in?
Uh, who knows? Money talks, right? But I think I wouldn't want to associate. It's so tainted right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I mean, like if something was to happen and like James Gunn was to go away and we find out like the Russo brothers are coming, like holy crap. Like who at this point, who knows? James Gunn could be out the door in a year at this point. Like we don't know.
that would be excellent.
I mean, HBO Max, I think HBO Max is about to completely go away.
No, I don't know what's happening there because Discover, they have their own app and they're like reconfiguring where is what, and they're removing a lot of
Mhm.
content that they're having to pay rights for. What do you call it? Basically like residuals on and stuff. A lot of
Yeah.
cartoons are a big thing they're getting rid of. But yeah, so I don't know, man. But um, DC is continued to be such a crap show. And to kind of get back on topic, and we
That's
can,
not what we want. We and I
we
think as
care,
fans of
man.
this stuff, you have to like even
Yeah,
if you just consider yourself a Marvel guy, and we've talked about it. We
yeah,
don't consider ourselves a Marvel guy, DC guy. We're comic guys, and that's it. We love this shit, all of it. And even if you just consider yourself to be a Marvel guy, if you're not rooting for DC to succeed, then you're rooting for Marvel to fail. It's
yeah.
all the same. Because I've said it before. Competent without the how did I put it?
Something along the lines of lack of competition breeds mediocrity.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, and we're seeing that,
Yeah,
and it's a given, it's a known fact that
yeah,
is how things are. So if you're not rooting for DC, if you're just shitting on everything just to do it, like you're rooting for the failure of Marvel at that point too,
yeah.
because they don't have any reason to stay on their top game because
You know what I
you're
would
gonna
like to
buy it
do?
anyway.
Yeah.
Look at Spider-Man in comic books. You're gonna buy it anyway. They're gonna buy it anyway. Who gives a shit who's writing it?
I was talking to Logan about it. I haven't read it in a few months. My brother-in-law.
Yeah.
They still have not progressed anywhere about kind of what kicked off in that first issue of what's taken place with Mary Jane and Peter Parker and what's going on. Apparently, that's not going to be revealed until a couple months from now. I'm
Yeah.
like, it flabbergasts me. What I would like to hear though is maybe we should bring Josh back on if he's open to it and still here and really digging deep about kind of how he feels about the current state of comic books and modern
Yeah.
comic books.
I
And
think that would be great.
because, we're seeing it's been, I don't know, but then you're getting stuff like this that blows my mind. And people are like, oh, it's just a Joker comic. And I'm like, look, this is just dumb. Nothing about this is funny. It's grotesque. It's nasty. It's, yeah, it's a backup story, but like, dude, men aren't getting pregnant to put a baby inside of the Joker. And it's like, it's just gross. You know what I mean?
Well, and see, this is where we're gonna have a different opinion here. Um, I agree 100%. Yes, men are not getting pregnant. It's not gonna happen. Nobody's gonna convince me that it does not happen. It cannot happen. It will not happen. Period. But it's not like they're saying that he went and had sex with somebody and got pregnant. I mean, Zatanna put a spell on him to fuck with him, and it ended up being like a pile of mud, and it's just goofy and
Well, and then
silliness. And I've seen several people talk about it, and there is shit like this that has happened before, like in Silver Age, when they just did silly, goofy stuff like this. Wonder Man at one point, had the same kind of thing happen to him. I mean, but you know, I don't see any reason to get up in an uproar and start, casting out the DC woke and all that shit because I don't that's not that to me that's not how I see this is, it's that's not the story. Zatanna literally cast a spell to make this happen.
cast a spell on
It's
me.
just it's just goofiness. That's all it is. I don't see this as something to really get so, you know, riled up about personally. Like
It's gross.
it is gross. Like I will say that. Like I think like
Because there was more panels to it of like when it came out. I'm
because
just
like
like, this is just
where is this, like is he just like where's it coming from? And then it's just a pile of mud. Like there's only one hole it can come out of, and then it's just a pile of mud, and it's just like, but it's stupid. Like it's dumb, but it's not something that I think that is something that should be as big a deal, I think, as a lot of people are making out of it. Because
that
like I said,
shocks
it's
me.
not like they're saying that, he went
We
and
don't have
had
to go
sex
into it
with
much
someone
further,
and he was not
but
impregnated with someone's seed, and it's just a silly magic thing, and whatever. Am I gonna buy it or read it? No, I don't give a shit about this. But I'm gonna sit here and raise hell about it either. Like I don't really give a shit.
I think it's going to be on the next
I th-
cover of the
I
next
think that
comic
this
book.
is I think that this is another. I think that that it's so dumb though that it just is another thing of like, really, DC, like you guys are backs up against the wall right now, and this is what you put out. Like this is what you think is gonna, like, who thought that this was something that was, what, this is what's gonna save us? Because to me, if I'm DC and I'm working in the comics department and I'm head of that, that's what I'm looking for. Somebody better put on my desk this week some shit that's gonna turn something around. And this ain't it. This ain't it. And like I said, had nothing to do with the fact that it was Joker having a baby. It's the fact of the art looks like absolute dog ass. And the whole thing of it is just stupid. Like it's
So
just dumb. This is not something that is providing any kind of help to DC Comics. And to me, if it's not providing help, the shit just needs to be canned. Like, get it out of
yeah,
here. If it's not something that's helping, then it's hurting. So get it out.
yeah.
So, like I said, it wasn't something that I looked at. At first, I was like, what in the hell kind of shit is this? And then I looked at it and I was like, Oh, that's like that's just dumb as hell. What kind of dumb shit are they just saying? Yeah, that'll work. Put that out there. Somebody will love that shit.
Who
It's
knows
just
anymore,
stupid.
dude?
But like I said, it's not something that I'm gonna, sit here and say, we should be, lighting the damn pitchforks and shit for. I mean, it's just if anything, the biggest issue with it is you guys are in turmoil right now, and this is what you do. Okay.
Holy
Glad to
Santa Claus
know.
shit.
Glad to know you guys are concerned.
Who knows, man? But speaking of which, so I know that we're not massive gamers by any stretch of the imagination,
Just
but
Assassin's Creed, baby.
yeah, but I heard about this game coming out and I have heard nothing since. And apparently it has been released. And he reminded me of this, and I saw a little bit of game footage. Dead on Arrival, he said. I've heard nothing positive. I've heard nobody talking about it. And you would think in our community, you would hear a lot of people talking about this. And I think a lot of people, after what the crap show that the Avengers video game was, where you expect to play the event as the Avengers and then you play as Kamala Khan for whatever the amount of time is. Like Perry, have you played this? Have you heard anything positive about it? Any opinions?
Said Gotham Knights is light, nothing special.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. And yes, Assassin's Creed. Was that a typo, or did he didn't finish the sentence?
Yeah.
Slaps what?
But I'm just curious, is like,
Assassin's Creed is the shit though. Black Flag is the best
And
thing
then
ever
this
put
city
out.
became my home.
and then why would they call it Gotham Knights?
Its people.
Who's actually familiar with something called Gotham Knights?
Gotham?
Comic book
Everything.
fans? Who's familiar with the Midnight Suns? They did that damn comic book game.
But I'm saying, like, I've never even heard of the Gotham Knights comic books. I've heard of Nightwing,
See, I didn't really care for 1 and 2 as much, Barry. For me, it was Black Flag, and then the one after Black Flag and Origins. Those are the ones I played, and I'm doing. I'm about to just stop Origins because it's kind of getting boring. But I'm going to Valhalla next. I
like,
can't wait for the Black Flag Assassin's Creed Netflix show. I am so jacked about that.
you know what I would have called this?
The Sidekicks, Batman's bitches.
That's better. I was gonna say the children of Bruce Wayne.
Oh, Batman's bitches.
That's better. But yeah, if you look at it, basically, and she should be in a wheelchair. She should be kicking ass and taking names in a wheelchair, man. And
I want to get more in. I want to get
Hold on.
into the Jason Todd Red Hood stuff, man. He just seems like a character that would be right up my alley, man. Just this like kind of on the line badass.
No, there's no on the line. He straight up murders. There's no line.
Well, I'm saying like he's on the line of like people thinking he's a hero, or is he an anti-hero, or is he just straight up a bad guy because of the shit he does?
No, he's straight bad dude.
Like that's, but he's fighting on the good side of the good guys. Is what I'm like. He's
Yeah.
Like,
But you can still fight on the good side.
on the
I mean, you
fence,
look at the Punisher. He's like the Punisher.
yeah. So I
We know
feel
the
like
Punisher's
he's
a bad
character
guy.
I would like, like he's the bad guy that you love, Like I that's always been characters I've been drawn to, like no matter what it was, like even like in wrestling, like everybody always hated my favorite wrestler, Triple H. Like he's the GOAT. I don't care what anybody says. He's the greatest of all time in every aspect. And people hated him when he was a villain. I like the bad guys, so I love the bad boys.
Oh, guys, I didn't know that the avian flu is causing egg prices to skyrocket. I thought it was just some other bullshit happening. Apparently, sorry, a notification popped up. 18
About
eggs
what?
are like close to $10. It's just an article. It's like why eggs are so expensive, and I was like, huh. I
Why?
noticed that avian flu. I guess chickens are dying.
Oh, I don't know what that is, but that shit needs to get fixed quick because my son and my wife go through like a carton and a half of extra large eggs a week. Them shit's expensive.
Yeah, that's what it just said. 18 eggs were like close to $10.
Also, I am officially the scrambled egg master. I make the greatest scrambled eggs anyone has ever had. Next time we come down, I'll make you some scrambled eggs, and you can agree.
Okay.
My wife said that she was absolutely amazed with the texture and the flavor.
There you go.
Yeah, I can get fluffier eggs without milk. Drink them when you can with milk.
Web warriors. That's funny. Yeah, I started going to egg whites in a carton. I'll go buy
I
my
used to do that all the time because you can just throw them in the microwave and boom, done. You don't even.
no.
It's the exact same thing, dude. You just throw it in the microwave.
It won't happen. Nope.
Because my go-to is 4
Nope.
egg whites, a handful of fresh
Ugh.
spinach, and
Microwave.
and ketchup.
So we're gonna get back on topic, but what I do is I go
Also,
in
I
there.
got to put you on to the chicken sausage I've been eating, bro. It will literally change your life.
This coffee is like giving me hiccups.
This chicken sausage it's out of control. How good the shit is.
But so what I've been doing is because eggs, man, so many calories, but you still need the yellows because I have low cholesterol, but my good cholesterol is not high enough. So they want me to take fish oil. I'm like, I'm not taking fish oil. That shit is
Nah, I
gross.
can't do that shit.
But
Man, they used to try to put me on fish oil. I'm like,
you can
man,
correct it with egg yolks.
yeah.
Everything
See,
you
my
need there.
problem is I have vitamin deficiencies and all kinds of shit like that. I got salt deficiency, vitamin deficiency because I drink so much damn water, and I piss so much every day that
Yeah.
they're
Get
like,
you
you
some
got to get on
Himalayan
a
salt.
multivitamin. You got to do something. And I'm like, I hate those damn horse pills. They make your piss stink. They make your
Yeah.
you take the damn multivitamins and then you burp for 2 hours. It tastes like freaking grass and it's nasty. I'm like, no. They're
Well,
like, okay, well, do you have lack of energy? Do you feel tired a lot? All the time. As soon as I wake up, yes. And they're like, yeah, because you have no vitamins in your body.
Well, so what I've been doing is basically just taking 1 or 2 egg yolks, depending on what else I'm gonna eat. Or not egg
Yeah.
yolks, whole eggs, and I don't like I love the taste of, like, farm-raised eggs, and I was gonna say the expensive eggs, but even the white eggs are now very expensive too, so it doesn't really matter, but I love the taste, and then I take, egg whites, the good ones. I still can't bring myself it took a while for me to, like, buy carton egg whites. It freaks me out to just pour out eggs. It's just something about it, dude, freaks me out. I can't get past it.
You know
But
how
if
to
I
use
mi
an empty bottle to suck the yolk out?
no, 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 no.
You never
Because
seen
I leave
you
it
never
all I leave 2 egg yolks in there, and then I just put egg whites in there to get the volume, and I have to mix it super quick so it still looks yellow, and it doesn't freak me out. But it's still something about, dude, freaking eggs coming out of a carton, it gives me heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, see, I'm at the point now where I don't even look at food like that anymore. Like I
Mm,
just look at it like, okay, it's time. I have to eat something, I guess. And let me get these, throw them in the microwave, swirl them around,
mm.
and it comes out, and you can't tell. Like I could put them in front of you, you wouldn't know if it was cooked on the
No, I
stove or
know.
microwave. Like,
Nah.
and
Dad
with me, like if I've got to work, like I've got, my alarm goes off. I've got 8 minutes to get my ass up, do whatever I need to do, and be in the truck.
Yeah.
And so microwave or I ain't eating,
Mm.
which I had to change it up because I was starting to plateau really bad where I wasn't really seeing a lot of progress. So now I don't eat anything from 9 p.m. to 11 a.m. So I was going to where I would eat something when I woke up and when I was on the way to work about 5:30 in the morning, and I wouldn't eat lunch, so I would eat again at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So now I'm like completely changing it. So now I'm eating lunch, and that's like I might eat lunch and something small for
Yeah.
when I get home at like 6, and that's it. So
Mm. Oof. No, remember that dude that used to live in that trailer out at the demolition site where Dad worked, and he would microwave whole eggs? Like that freaked me out even to this
mm-mm.
day thinking about it. I forget his name. Was it like Pretty,
Oh, Purdy,
Purdy? Yeah.
Purdy, that dude was scary. Not scary. He was creepy though.
Oh man,
Did you ever meet Lee, the one armed bandit?
I don't think so. I think I would have remembered
That
that.
old man was mean, and Dad used to call him that, and I'm like, Dad, that's kind of mean. He called him that straight to his face. Oh, here come the one armed bandit Lee.
No, I do remember flipping a skid steer over the top, and
Uh-huh.
Dad never noticing, and the boss had to come pull his bulldozer and hit. Yeah, Y it's a wonder we survive sometimes with
I
some of the stuff
barrel
in our
rolled
life.
one before, like
I
head over
caught my
heels.
pants on fire, and I
I
had no
barrel
clue.
rolled one 3 times, head over heels. Boo, boo,
Yeah.
boo.
That's what I did at one time, and then ended up still on the forks because I had them all the way up, carrying one of those stupid doors clamped in, and I caught my pants leg on fire one time. I was torching a door, and Dad comes hauling tail over, yelling at me, and it was so cold I didn't know, and my whole pants leg were on fire. It was one of the thermal line blue jeans,
Yeah.
and he's freaking out, and I'm like, "What?" It's like, "Dang leg's on fire." I'm like, "Well, at least I'm not cold anymore."
Right.
It's a wonder, man. I'll never forget those hot wings and those stupid Philly cheesesteaks.
Oh, I've eaten there a couple times this past year because every now and then, like we had a school we did that was right around the
Yeah,
corner from there, so we went over there and ate a couple times. He thought I was Dad when I walked in the first time. I was like, damn, like I knew I was starting to look like
yeah,
the man, but this dude thought I wasn't. But he remembers us and
yeah,
ask how Dad is all the time. They're good folks.
yeah. They were nice. They were good. We're talking about so Dustin and I used to do some demolition type work with our father in high school, and you didn't do it any further. It was just high school, right?
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
it in high school. I started up there when I was like 14 years old. Summer vacation, winter
yeah,
break, Christmas break, spring break. If I wasn't at school, my ass was in the truck, and
yeah. That's how I. Yeah, so I didn't do it a lot, but I did it quite a few times. And that's how I
yeah,
paid
you
for
had
his wedding
football that
dress.
got you out of it.
What?
Football got you out of it.
Yeah. That's true. But the few times I did have to go, like I'll never look at corn syrup the same way. We demoed a corn syrup factory.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, there's nothing worse than having to, and basically Dustin and I would either operate machinery or a lot of times we'd do the shitty jobs like
Clean
pulling the
up,
damn
pressure
clean.
wash the whole damn drive lot,
Oh, I never did that. I
paint the
I was either
tires.
I was either in a machine using a torch or I was freaking taking the tires off of those axles.
Yeah,
And even then, still either having to use a damn torch or one of those
you
things were
got the
so rough.
easy jobs, dude. I had to take I had to swap tires off on and off the
No,
rims. I
no,
had
I
to
did that too. We had to do that, pull all the tires on and off. Yep.
Yeah, I
But
had to sandblast machinery for days in the middle of the
no,
summer in a sandblasting suit with a hood. I had to
nothing,
paint. I had to do all kind of shitty things.
nothing is worse whenever. So probably whenever you worked for the sanitation company, that was probably pretty bad. But nothing is worse than having to cut these massive things full of corn
Yeah,
syrup
these big old drums.
drums, and they had been there for years closed down,
That
so it was
shit
already nasty.
stinks.
And then we cut it. So you heated up this nasty corn syrup, and it's just disgusting smelling. The first day, you're like, "Oh, this smells kind of good." It was like whenever we worked at that school by the Nabisco factory, and you're like,
Mhm.
"Oh, it smells good." And by the end of the day, you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna
Smelling
throw up."
damn cookies all day
Yeah.
long.
And then, but so we burnt it all up, smelled it. Once we got the metal out, then to be able to take that metal, we had to take and literally for days by hand scoop out the rest of the corn syrup into this. It was
Yeah,
like
'cause you
one.
can't recycle it with all that shit in it.
No, so me and this whoever this other dude was, like a snow shovel, scooping it out for days,
Yep, those
and it
plastic
was
gray shovels, the big as hell.
nasty smelling and just disgusting and sticky everywhere. I mean,
Mhm.
that
Way
I
sticky, dude.
oh,
I would not recommend it.
and I'm talking, this was a corn syrup manufacturer. So
Mhm.
imagine, 1,000-gallon, basically like silos of this stuff, and at the very bottom, 4 or 5 inches, which doesn't sound like a lot, but you're talking what maybe. What did you ever see them like 20 foot by 20 foot,
Oh,
10,
yeah.
15? They were
They're
massive,
at
and it was
least
like
25 feet
oh,
across
yeah, in
circumference.
inches of this stuff we had to get, and there was no way to
Yeah,
drain it. And looking back
couple
on it
100
now,
gallons still in the bottom.
yeah, oh, easily. And now looking back on it, I'm like, no, there absolutely was probably a way where we could have brought in some water hoses and drained this stuff, diluted it enough, to get the sugar.
I don't know. I mean, there's probably something you could have done, but
Oh,
I would have
but
just
but for us,
cut the son of a bitches off, like, whatever. I would have just
yeah,
not worried about recycling the part. Like, I would have cut it all the
but
way
it was
around.
aluminum or
We'll take
stainless
the
steel.
top.
Yeah, but it was aluminum or stainless steel, so they could pay people what was I making, like 10-12 bucks an hour,
Yeah.
for a couple of days to do it, and that's well worth it. They didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
And
that's right. Yeah.
then we had to cut it in half, and I am the type of person in this scenario where I'm like, I'm doing the very least to get by. So like once I felt like it was done, I'm like, I'm scooting shit around just so I can get a torch down the middle. And Dad's like, that's not, you didn't get all the damn corn syrup. You got to get more of it out. No, dude, you best pay somebody else. I'm here for a short time.
You'd almost think you could heat that shit up enough that it would start getting
It was so cold, it was the
thinner.
middle of winter.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
dude.
always seemed like you had to do some shit like that in the wrong
Oh,
time of the year.
middle of winter. Yeah. Anyways, that's some man, I forget about some of that stuff we did. It would've been fun to do it together. Like, whenever that
Yeah,
would have been much funner than pulling cables together.
yeah.
I still, to this day, if I
I
can
used
make
to have to sit out there and pressure wash that whole blacktop while they're
that's stupid.
bringing trucks in and out all day long, and I'm out there pressure washing,
Yeah.
and I mean, I'd get mad as hell too.
They
I'm
were
like, "I'll
just
be
doing
a
that to
son
pay
of
you
a
at this point.
bitch if you didn't." Yeah, that was all it was. Dad finding something, which at this point I appreciate it now because
Yeah,
I know what he was doing. He was just trying to find. He was
yeah,
like, "Hey, Rock said he could come and make some money, so I'm gonna find
yeah.
something for you to do." And
Oh, yeah.
here's I was making damn good money. I mean,
Yeah, at the time,
working
that's how I paid
60,
for
70 hours a week
yeah,
at 15 years old sucks ass though, especially when it's cold as hell
yeah.
or hotter than shit.
But that's what doing that type of work, dude, is the reason why I went and got a degree, and even though the degree is, not relevant,
It
but
did not
the
have
reason
that effect on me. I'm
yeah, yeah.
still in the construction field.
But I still honestly, if I can make the kind of money I do doing, like pulling cable or something, I absolutely would. I told you that before, though.
I would like to make my money pressing and cleaning comic books, so I need
That
more
would
of you
probably be more
fuckers
fun.
to start using my services.
Oh, man. But at the time, dude, we're talking this was like 2008. Aluminum was a lot like metal prices had gone up pretty
Yeah.
not 2008, but it was somewhere between 2008, 2012, 13
Mhm.
when we were kind of doing this stuff,
Let's
and it
go
had gone up
grunts.
pretty
That's exactly
significantly.
it. Grunts. That's what sucks about what I'm doing now is it's
You
it's
don't have
it's
any grunts.
I'm been the grunt for 15 years because the guy I work for,
Is 90.
it's just like it's me, him, and one other guy. So it's just
Yeah.
like there's a very, very small chain of command. So
Yeah.
even though I'm second in command, I'm still the damn grunt.
I don't know, man. It's
I am
wild.
getting I've been tired of doing this. I can tell you that much. I am over it. Who's
So,
Alan Scott?
so Alan Scott's actually the first Green Lantern ever,
See,
I
I know
believe.
nothing about Green Lantern, so
Yeah, and I don't know much about him at all. Honestly, I'm all for anything Hayden Christensen can come back and do. I really enjoyed his role in Jumper, and I hate that they never move forward with any of that. Um, but
well,
obviously, it just
I'm a
depends
big
on
fan of Kevin Bacon and Tom Cruise, so
yeah.
especially in the greatest movie that's ever been produced in the history of movies, Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, do you guys want to hear my opinions on Black Panther 2? I finally watched it. I
Oh yeah.
actually was, the night that you went on with Alan, we were headed home and we talked about Black Panther and we're like, well, let's go watch it tonight. So we did. We watched like 3 movies because we didn't have Ellie for 2 days. Actually, take that back. We went the first night, went and saw Puss in Boots 2. Ellie asked to leave about 30 minutes in, so we left. It was terrible. Um, and then we went and saw Avatar and Black Panther 2. Jumper was like a phenomenal movie. It still holds up in my mind.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I don't think I've ever seen it.
oh, for real, dude, it is so cool. Yeah, it's called Jumper. It's got Hayden Christensen, and he basically has the power to kind of jump around. Samuel L. Jackson's in it. It's really, really good.
Okay.
So watch it. It came out, Perry. What was it like? 2008, 2010, something like that.
I mean, I remember it. Um,
Hell yeah, me too.
I'm familiar with it. I just don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah. But Dustin was supposed to be at New Orleans, and he bitched out. He didn't go.
No, I didn't. My ride canceled. But I talked to him today, and apparently I'm going to be in Dallas. So I don't know when Dallas is, but I'm coming.
That's gonna be a
And
trip.
it sounds like Sean and Huda and I are going to have a booth too. So that should be cool.
Are you gonna
But
press comic
I'm
books?
mainly just excited to go and hang out with Russell and my man Tony Sanders. Like, damn the rest of it. I'm looking forward to that.
I am really enjoying your commentary tonight, the Arbiter, because I feel like some things we're super aligned on, and other things I'm like, what?
I loved Avatar.
So Avatar 2. So let me give you my opinion on Black Panther 2 first,
Okay.
because I kind of didn't go see it. I had no interest in seeing it after I kind of heard and saw uh, about Namor. Um,
I guess the three of us need to have more conversation because that was the conversation that was had today.
Um, so
What's
I
up,
will say,
Vince?
what up, Vince? I enjoyed the first Black Panther, mainly, honestly, 100% for Michael B. Jordan. He's the greatest of all time. He is, I would say, like one of the best actors of our generation. The similar age that Dustin and I are. Obviously, like I'm not going to compare him to some of these actors that have been around for decades and just doing great work. But I would say he's definitely on track to be one of the best. And I saw his Creed 2 or 3 trailer, whichever one it is. I think
Yeah,
it's 3. And I'm like, holy shit, this
I mean, he
dude.
was fantastic in the first two.
I saw the first one, never saw the second one. I just
Oh,
for
really?
some reason just never did. And then I was actually shocked to see what's his name, the guy playing King, Jonathan Majors,
Yeah.
something like that. I was like, dude, that's a different side I did not expect.
Hmm.
Um, but anyways, so I was super excited about Killmonger and all of that. And then I went into Black Panther 2 because I was honestly more pissed off about the way they kind of were handling Namor. Um and it wasn't as true to comic books as I wanted and things like that. And what I heard, what I'll tell you is both equally as bad and better than I thought.
Yeah.
Riri Williams was like the three of them. Riri, I'm gonna mispronounce it, Okoye or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever, Michelle from
You
Walking
had it
Dead,
right. Okoye.
and then Shuri. Those three together at the beginning of the movie was like freaking hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, honestly, they need to put them three in a show, and I think that's how they should have introduced Riri, was in a show, because she wasn't much of a value add in this story. It
Yeah.
seemed very
And
thrown
and
in.
she's getting her own show. So I think
Yeah,
they were trying to like,
and it was
hey,
not
here she is. Now go watch her on Disney
a,
Plus. And I felt like that it did
a disservice.
I think it didn't do her I think it was a dish injustice, or it didn't do justice
Disservice.
to a disservice, yes. Because it felt
Yeah,
way forced.
yeah, and I feel like
'Cause
there's a lot more
I
potential.
thought the actor did a good job, like,
She was great.
I thought the character was cool, but I just felt like every part of
Right.
her being in the movie was forced. But, I mean, I'm looking forward to I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch the Riri show and check it out, though.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
very intrigued by it, but like I said, the
yeah.
3 of them together was freaking hilarious, right?
Kukulkan!
Yeah,
But, Shuri was my favorite part. I thought Letitia Wright did
she is
fantastic.
fantastic. She really
She
is a
The
phenomenal actor.
emotion that she brought to me, and I know everybody was all up in arms about, the mom, but
Being killed?
no, just in general, like, her performance, to me, I didn't
Oh, I
think it
didn't
was
give her a
anything
second look.
special. I didn't think it was anything special. To
No.
me, Letitia Wright
Yeah.
is the only thing that held that movie together and made it all work, and the different emotions she was feeling, why,
Yeah.
and the different, internal struggles she was dealing with that, I thought that everything to do with Shuri in the movie was a saving grace, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, Letitia Wright was fantastic. The best line in the whole movie is when M'Baku goes, "You were a bald-headed demon." Dude, I
See, I didn't
straight
like that stuff, man, because 'cause I'm like, "Man, like, here they go
no,
again, trying to turn another,
but I
like
felt like it was
like"
placed well. I didn't feel like I was dying laughing
It
the whole time.
was, but I don't know, I felt like they changed his character in this one, and from what it looks like they're gonna try to do with him going forward, I
Oh, that
feel like
dumb.
M'Baku needs to be the character that we know,
Yeah.
the no nonsense, like
Yeah.
he is that motherfucker,
Yeah.
and
Well,
that's
and
who
so
he's gotta be.
knowing more about him that I now that I do, whenever I went back, remind me to bring up M'Baku later, um, because I don't wanna get off topic, but I feel like they've done a really good justice with him, um, in the like, from the comics to the movie. I
Yeah,
understand why they've not really gone with his normal name and stuff like that
yeah,
makes sense, but I feel like, from I'll talk about it now, like, his original fight scene in Black Panther, I feel like with the white back and the mask, like, they did justice to his
dude
comic book
looked
character.
dude looked
It was
nuts,
great,
dude. I
and
mean,
I feel
just
like they did
yeah,
justice to his comic book origin. I understand why they've changed some things and not really referenced certain things, but for good reasons,
yeah,
but I feel like it was done very well and true to origin, and so that was actually when I went back and rewatched Black Panther 1, again after I saw 2, I'm like, "Oh, man, that's super cool," And I was glad to see those things, the nuances that I didn't know about and kind of picked up on now. But so back to Black Panther 2. But that line, dude, when 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 she straight up was he was like, "You are a
Mhm.
bald-headed demon, dude." From that, I literally, because Sky and I got there late because we weren't planning on showing. So we go to the food section. We order some food. They deliver it to our seats in the middle of the death scene, where they're bringing the casket back and stuff like that. So everybody's like quiet, and here comes this dude walking up in the middle of the row, dropping off some food to us, and we felt like total dicks because we were already late, and then getting food dropped off in the middle of the emotional scene. We're like, it is what it is. So, and it was still packed. Like the entire theater was sold out weeks or months later, which was
Yeah.
wild. So, so we're sitting there and I'm eating, and I all I got was just some chicken fingers and French fries. So, but I got a mouthful of chicken fingers, and he says this, dude, I swear to God, this chicken finger about went all over the row in front of me. It was the funniest thing in the world. I couldn't stop laughing. I don't know why it was so funny, but dude,
It
you
it was cracking me up with Shuri cracking shit on her about her makeup and shit
yeah, that's
whenever
what I'm
she's
saying. It was
trying to
so
fit
funny.
in.
And then Riri's like, "Why you got an ashy head?" I'm
Yeah.
just like, Jesus Christ. That's them three need seriously. I hope the show is focused on
Yeah.
that. I still think her suit looks like a friggin' Mega Man suit or whatever it is. I thought it looked awful. It just
Yeah, I
did not
wasn't
look good.
yeah, and I didn't like the Midnight Angel suits either. I think that's what they're called.
Oh, yeah, it was very weird.
Yeah.
I
But
felt like they tried to
to
go too
me
Tony Stark and should have tried to go a different route. I understand what Riri, obviously
yeah.
the connection there, but yeah, it was
What did you think about Atuma versus Okoye on the bridge? I mean,
I think what'd you say?
was that fight scene not awesome?
Yeah, both of those fight scenes were really good. I feel like there was a lot of stupidity though, that like plot points that made zero sense. It
Oh,
was,
yeah.
like Riri, like, oh, we're gonna start this war over here. Like Namor, just go get her and kill him and be
And
done
that's
with
what
it.
he would have done,
Yeah,
Like,
like
why would he
yeah,
why would he bring in a potential problem
yeah,
to help?
yeah,
Like, Namor would just go fucking kill her. Like, he
yeah.
would find her and kill her, like, end of
And
story.
and then like during the final fight scene where everybody's on the boat being backed up for what seems like
Well,
20 minutes, it's
that
like
was my issue is,
they
like,
would have just
okay,
killed them and be done with it.
we just talked about the fact that they draw their power from the water.
Mhm.
So let's get 13 people and go into the water and attack them.
Yeah. I
After we've
mean,
already been told that he has an army that he has more soldiers than you have blades of grass. So you get 13 people and you go to fight them in the water. To me,
that was just
I thought that made the Wakandans look like idiots. And
yeah,
I'm like, these are supposed to be very smart,
yeah,
tactical people, and you just made them look really, really dumb. It made no
yeah.
sense at all. Like,
And the 3D printing of the herb was
I
stupid.
thought that
No,
was silly.
where they get it from, I thought that was a pretty neat connection point or whatever. Like if you
Yeah.
because I'm sure, you know, obviously with what happened and what they had to go through, they probably weren't planning on having to bring the herb
Yeah,
back.
I mean, I understood
But
that, like, you had to figure something out, but I was like,
so I
"You
thought
went
the
with a
connection was
3D printer,
neat.
bro?"
But the 3D printing thing, like we could have
Yeah.
come up with something way like honestly, I would have been happier if she regrew it in a fucking pot. You
Well,
know what I
I was
mean?
thinking that, like, whatever that Namor would have something that had
Yeah.
herb in it and didn't know it or like something like that.
Yeah.
Like somehow they would retrieve the herb from Namor or
Yeah.
something that has the herb's likeness from Namor. But
Yeah.
that scene where she goes to see Killmonger and the
That was
whole
the best part.
explanation for why he is the one
Yeah.
that she sees, to me, that brought together everything so perfectly because it's like he was the one that she might not have wanted to see, but that's who she needed to see.
Yeah.
Because just like he said, for the battle you got coming, you can't be like you don't it's not gonna work if you try to be your brother. You need
Yeah,
to
you
be like
can't be the
me.
hero.
You got to be like me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that goes so perfectly with the fact that she's trying to, buck the system on every belief that her people have and questioning
Yeah.
everything because of the emotion for over the loss of her brother and that felt very real because you see that happen all the time with people where it's like, shit gets so bad and the most faith driven people, there is no God,
Yeah.
how I can't believe this, and so that seemed very, very real to me, the way that they did that. And a lot of people didn't think that the whole thing with Riri, they didn't like all that. And I'm like, no, dude, to me, that brought a lot of realness to that
Yeah.
movie and that character more so than any of it,
Yeah.
because you can
Yeah.
totally see that being a reaction that someone would have to something that devastating happening in their life. I'm
Yeah.
like, it made sense.
Yeah. No, and like I said, my biggest complaints were solely with Namor, right? And I
Everybody
enjoyed.
said they thought that he did a great job acting, and I didn't feel it.
So yes and no. I get where you're coming from, but
He seems so bland to me. Like I didn't get any.
I think it's the culture aspect of it, right? And I think it's, how do I'm trying to figure out a good way to describe it because I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I also was like, um, how do I put it? I don't know. I felt, but I didn't mind his, like, I felt it was good acting, but I see what I get what you're saying
Yeah,
too.
he just felt real
I'm trying,
vanilla to me.
yeah, I don't know how to describe it because I think like, you know, he's this underwater fish god that, basically, it's very weird. But I also like, I didn't mind his acting either.
Yeah.
I felt like when he needed to be kind of that jackass where he walked up to his mom and was like,
And
"Listen,"
there was, yeah, there was
there was,
definitely, and and
yeah,
and and you
and I was
remember
like,
that's what I
"Ooh,
said. Like
yeah,
there were times where I was watching and I was like, it's just like that damn gif of Leonardo DiCaprio or whatever, where he's just like, and I was just like,
yeah,
there's Namor right
yeah,
there. He
yeah,
just walked up and
yeah,
killed her mom right in front of her after her brother died. Told her, I
yeah,
told you this shit was gonna happen. Now I'll be
yeah,
back in a couple of days if you don't get this shit handled.
yeah,
I'm like, that's Namor right there, dude.
yeah."
There ain't none of this. Let's work together. I'm gonna give you a chance. Like, no,
And
my
like the
man's coming
end
in there
where
and
he
wrecking
explained,
house and he's
yeah,
leaving.
in the end where he explained why he kind of did what he did with Shuri and Eel did and all that, like I
Yeah,
didn't
I
think
don't
that was very Namor like
know.
either. But
Because
for me,
that still is not, to me, that still isn't the way he would have went about it, because Namor would not have a thought in his head that the only way I could come out on top is if I get them to work with me. And again, I know that that Namor in more modern stuff is completely different.
yeah,
So all of my Namor and Submariner feelings come from the early stuff and the Silver Age and stuff like that. And in my eyes, that Namor would never have that thought. His thought would be, I don't have to worry about it because I'm gonna come out on top.
yeah,
Like that's it. End of story. Like they're
yeah.
not gonna win. I'm gonna, I'm the me winning is the only outcome that's a possibility.
Yeah, exactly. But I will tell you, I thoroughly enjoyed his origin story a lot more than I thought I would. The what was it, Tolokan and all of that. My
Yeah,
big
I
thing
thought
is,
they made it work.
but still, like, why couldn't you just go ahead? Like you gave him a different name, but still referenced them more. Why couldn't you go ahead and throw the Atlantis thing in there? I felt like that would have been just fine. I wish we would have got to see more of Tolokan. What we got was a very dark, not a great
Very
look.
bad CGI.
Yeah, 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 and I feel like we coulda got a lot more there, but as somebody who absolutely adores cultures and history and, I think that's why I like comic books so much because it's like even though it's a made up kind of culture and history and
It's
background, it's
still,
all
yeah,
there,
it's and
but
it's historical documents. I mean,
yeah,
at this point,
but I love learning about new cultures and history, and I've always been a big fan of it, so, you know, hopefully a lot of what they
oh
mentioned,
man,
they pulled from real history, right? And the history of Tolokan and the god they said he was, whatever it was, Kulakan, whatever, Kuku, I can't even begin to pronounce it,
he is cuckoo Khan.
but I thought it was really fantastic. I'm like, man, this like I would love to learn more about, Tolakan and all of that. So that was like super positive, but I still felt like I was wanting more out of Namor than what I got. And that was kind of the unfortunate thing. But his origin, if completely removing myself from as being a comic book fan, if I was somebody who kind of a layperson, so to speak, who knew nothing else, I would have been like, dude, this shit is awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
because like
I just
I
wish that the CGI was better. Like
yeah,
that scene where he's like in full dress, like full
yeah.
garb, and he's coming down. It looked like a bad video game scene.
Yeah,
Is
and every
exactly
time
what it looked
that
to me.
was all of the physics behind it was really rough, and, when he was doing his jumping, his
Yeah,
flying, that looked
yeah.
really bad.
It didn't look fluid.
No, there was a lot of issues, but overall, it was both better and worse in some areas than I thought. I didn't hate it, didn't necessarily it's not a movie I'd probably go back and watch a couple of times, not even close to the first one, um, and I felt like they kinda shit on my boy a little bit, what do you call it? Bilbo Baggins. He was just kind of there to be like a big scapegoat.
Who?
The direct, not director, the actor that played Bilbo Baggins. I don't know his real name, and I cannot remember his name in the movie. The only white guy basically in the movie. Oh, what's his name?
I didn't even
Um,
make that connection.
yeah, he's the Bilbo Baggins guy. Um, oh, what is it? What is his name? It's not Claw.
No, he was the bad guy from the first one.
Yeah, no, I know. I just didn't want you to like think that's who I was talking about. What? CZ? Anybody know who I'm talking about? Is it not Martin? Is it something Martin? Let me just look it up because at this point I could have just looked it up.
We're gonna have to roll out here in a minute.
I'm totally fine with that. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, same here.
All right, let's see. Martin Freeman, that's who it is. I was right. Sean Bean. It's not Sean Bean. He would have died 10 minutes into the movie. Um, yeah. I would like to see a boxing movie between Michael B. Jordan and Winston Duke. That would be cool.
Man, Uncanny X-Men 266 is just going. You can get a 9.8 right now on Elite for $6.99. I bet you get it for $6.50. That is wild,
Everything's
bro.
dropping.
That's a 50% decrease.
Oh,
From
Avatar. We didn't get a chance to talk about Avatar 2 real quick, and then we'll leave.
okay.
So Avatar 2, you loved it. You thought it was phenomenal, right?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I didn't see anything. I mean, of course, there were some plot holes and points of it that I was just like,
You
like
know what? For me,
obviously.
I cannot get past. So
What?
and we actually went and watched it in 3D based on your recommendation, and this
Mhm.
isn't your fault, but because I wear glasses, like it was not nearly as crisp and clean as I
Yeah.
want it because it's never going to be right. Sky was like,
Mhm.
no, it looked excellent. I'm like, damn, that sucks, but it was at the end when the boat's sinking and the fire on the boat happens. And so instead of just swimming under the fire, because they've been learning how to swim and they're excellent swimmers now, they go, oh God, let's go back to the sinking boat because there's fire on top of the water. And then the movie extends for an hour. I'm like, from that point on, I could not take anything that happened after
Yeah.
this point seriously.
Oh, there was
But
several things like that.
I'm
Like,
sure there was.
where did the rest of the water tribe go? Like, they just rolled out and
Yeah,
left
yeah,
them.
for an hour, like, what was it, an
Like,
hour and a
y'all
half of the
just
movie?
rolled out. And also, when and I can't remember the characters' names, but the main
No,
character, what's his name?
I couldn't even begin to
Jake.
tell you.
Jake. So
Jake, yeah.
when Jake is fighting the military avatar guy, right?
Yeah,
And he's getting his ass whooped. Why did his wife not jump in and help? Because they was kicking the shit out of everybody. If it was 2-on-1, dude would have been dead in 8 seconds. Why?
yeah,
But she's worried about what? Y'all done killed everybody else. It's just him and it's just
yeah.
him.
Well,
So
it was that. Yeah, like, where was she, so that was stupid, and then I really hate and I think it's because, what's his name? Who's the guy that directed this? Oh, because he
James
came out and he
Cameron?
talked about how he did Terminator and everything out, and he's like,
James
"Oh, I hate"
Cameron.
James Cameron, he's like, "I hate how I fetishize guns in all of my movies and this, that, and other," and actually, he went back and edited Avatar 2 to remove a lot of the gun stuff, and I'm like, "Dude, you're creating fictional content, it's fine," but the way he made these military guys, like to where it was just like these stereotypical, like, oh, they're doing
Oh yeah.
curls
Oh
in
yeah.
the
I
ships, and
hate
they
when
all
they
have
do
the
shit like that. Like,
yeah, like he made them look like a bunch of like douche canoe hillbillies,
yeah,
and I'm like, I get
yeah.
you want them to be a bad guy, but the way you stereotype
Yeah, you can totally
military,
tell, like, he's shitting on,
yeah,
like, military guys. It's like and I hate when people do that. It's like, yeah,
yeah,
shit on the people that are keeping your ass sitting in your
yeah.
chair all comfy and giving you the ability to do it real nice.
Exactly. And like these whole movies are basically just um, you know, I don't want to say like climate control, but there's a lot of that, like not climate control, sorry, climate change. Like a lot of it is like this movie about that type of deal. And he's mentioned it in some of his stuff.
Mhm.
So he definitely puts his own messaging in there, but they're still, beautifully well written movies. But I was like, really, dude, like they all have to be like somebody doing curls and somebody else has
Yeah.
like this weird rat tail and like the main guy, sure, but they're not all going to be, every single military member's not
Right,
going to look like that.
right.
So that was kind of like, come on, dude. But
Well,
um,
and like the whole story does you can kind of, like, avoid that
you,
whole thing, like, if Jake's just worried about his family, why not just send his family to the water tribes and he stays there and does
yeah,
what they did in the first movie and just beat their asses again? I mean, like, you beat them once,
yeah.
so, like
And like I was
this
sitting there
one
watching them.
is one that if you watch the pitch meeting for it, it's perfect.
Oh, yeah, I probably should.
Pitch
And
meeting for this
yeah.
is beautiful.
And like this is not a movie that I'm not watching for the story, it's for the visuals, clearly. Because if we're getting three more movies and the whole thing is just you know, blue people good, military guys bad, and it's just over and over again gonna be the same bad guy, like,
Yeah.
that's gonna get
Yeah.
very old very quick.
Right,
Um,
and I hate when they do that shit too, you
well,
know?
that's I mean, like, the guy should've just died at the end and been dead,
Yeah.
and honestly, they shouldn't have brought him back. I don't like that guy anyways.
I think the same thing. I think it was kinda lazy. Like,
Yeah,
at first, I thought it was cool. I was like, "Okay, like, this is
yeah,
kinda neat," but at the same time, I'm like, "Man, like, you couldn't just come up with a new
yeah.
villain?" I mean,
Yeah, but
so
he's
you're
gotta have his
telling me that
redemption arc next.
everything is just peachy unless
Yeah,
military guys from the United States of America on Earth come to your planet,
yeah,
everything is just peachy otherwise.
yeah. What's up, Kyle? But so that
And they do always have to be United States military
yeah,
because
yeah,
those are the bad guys.
but it's wild to me, man. That was so that kind of that took me out of it. The whole thing where they could have just swam under the fire and everybody lived and been
Yeah.
happy and not stuck.
Well, and
Um,
where were the fucking why were the fucking parents not training like the kids were? Like the kids all learned how to like be underwater for a long time and control their breathing and their hearts,
oh
but
yeah, what were the
Jake
parents
and the
doing?
mom, them motherfuckers was drowning in like 8
No, she was
seconds.
out practicing her screaming
But I'm just sitting here, I'm
for
like, how
hours.
did the kids
Yeah,
like y'all all said, like, we're all going to
yeah.
adapt, we're going to learn their ways, but the parents didn't do shit.
Yeah,
But you know, I enjoyed that they directed a lot of it towards the kids and how that all went,
yeah.
and, I thought that there was a lot of good stuff in that.
Oh, there was a ton of good stuff. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
We always bring up the bad stuff, but
I
yeah,
like the whales and the one
yeah.
whale that had been outcast, how all that worked. Like I already knew he was about to take that whole damn boat down by
I
himself.
loved it, dude. He was just like, "F you, motherfucker, put my
Yeah,
phone
and I
table."
really liked what's her name? The way that she was able to connect to everything and
Luke Skywalker
well, I didn't get that
or,
reference, but
Anakin. Sorry. So
I just thought it was cool, and it was also the same lady that played the character that's her mother.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's kinda how they brought her
I can't
back,
never
and
think of her name, but I know who she is.
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver, yes.
She was hot back in her heyday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she looked cute as that character. I mean, like, but I thought it was neat, and I'm still curious. I like that they've got the this backstory, this like side story of like how did she come about and how is this like so like that's very interesting. I like that. Um, and
So,
I thought the fact that they killed off the son like that was That
Ooh,
was major, something I didn't I kind of saw it coming with the way
yeah.
everything had been
Somebody
happening.
had to die.
Yeah, and I figured it was gonna be him because he was constantly getting drug into trouble because of the little brother, and he's covering for him, and I was like, "All right, something's gonna happen that's gonna cause little brother to have to understand, like, okay, like, I gotta get my shit together." But, I thought that that was something that was like, okay, like, you guys are actually, they were showing
Yep.
stakes involved here, so
Yeah, and well, Kyle, man, it's been a couple weeks since we have done one, but I'm glad you're here, man.
yeah, man, it's been a
Um,
while.
but so, what was I gonna mention? So for me, what I really enjoyed was we got to see new Navi, and I wish they would just continue to go that route. Remove this
Yeah, that would be
military
really
bullshit
cool.
out of it that doesn't really add any value. Takes you out of the the suspension of belief. But the issue with what is her name, Kari, Katie, Riri, Mouse, whatever her name was, I posted something about it. I can't remember her name.
Maybe
Kiri.
Chris Schaefer?
Kiri. It was
Yeah.
everybody thought it was Kitty for a while. But Kiri, the connection with her and Anakin, what I was talking about is so Anakin Skywalker, he was born in the midichlorian. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but basically the Force. Think of it like that. No, no parents, nobody knows what happens. He was just existed. Okay. And he had a very special
He
connection
had
with
a mom.
not real mom.
Nobody told
But
me that.
well, sorry. I'm sorry. It was like the Immaculate Conception kind of deal where
Gotcha.
it's very similar to, Kiri,
Yeah, I got you.
where it was she was just pregnant all of a sudden, right? And
Yeah,
the same thing with, nobody knows who the father is of this girl,
yeah.
and she has this super special connection with the Force that in this scenario, she has the connection with what is it, mother or whoever it is, the Awa, that nobody else has, and it can do certain things, and like she has this very weird, background that nobody really knows. And I'm like, dude, James Cameron, you just ripped off Star Wars. And like to a T. And I'm like, all right, so you're just basically Anakin Skywalker, bro.
Mm.
But I still enjoyed it. I don't find anything bad about it. But I was just like watching, like, oh, okay, so she's Anakin. Um, hopefully she won't go to the dark side, right? But I also did. What did you think about the boy they had that was like running around half naked the whole movie? Trying, I was like,
I thought it was cool that they brought that in. Like, I thought that was
yeah,
a neat I thought that was
connection.
a neat thing to bring in, and he's gotta have the mask, and, um, I thought that was kinda cool. I thought it was neat.
Yeah.
I thought it was shitty. I didn't like the fact like, it makes no sense to me that they would have him go back and rescue the dude, like, I don't
With his dad.
care. It's not his dad, though. It's an
Well, no, I
avatar that has his
yeah.
dad's memory,
No, I know
and
that,
on top
but
of that, so you mean to tell me this kid who knows that his real father was a total piece of shit
yeah,
and has never met him, but has been raised and brought in as a part of a family would 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 just
yeah,
would just completely
see,
betray that?
yeah. Well, and see, I
I
didn't
don't
really
know.
look into it that
Especially
much.
after he just killed
Yeah,
the brother, like there's
yeah.
no way that's how that really shakes out.
So for me, the reason why I didn't think too much about that is, for a few reasons. One, he saved him earlier. They've been building this weird bond. This kid's already been more connected with, um, what is it, the Navi more than real humans. And now all of a sudden, this guy that looks like everybody he grows up with and loves technically has the memories and the personality of his real father. So there's that connection. So I could kind of connect those dots, especially after
I
they've kind of been
guess some
bonding.
confusion there.
Yeah. So yeah. Bubs, I just booked our hotel for Lexington Comic Con. Dustin and I are gonna be sleeping in the same bed because
Boop, boop.
they were only I that's why I booked it because they only had king beds left. And
Guess my ass is back on the floor again.
we can snuggle, dude.
No,
It's a
we
king
cannot.
bed. Like
I do not give a shit. I sleep in a king bed every night, and it is not enough room for 2 people.
nobody touch I sleep in a king bed. I literally can't tell you the last time that Sky and I were like outside of certain activities. Like I we never touch because I sleep on the very edge of the bed and I don't move.
Mm.
Like
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
you're
in
a
the middle.
stinking bastard too, though.
Oh, get out of here. I'm the stinking bastard. So,
Yeah.
anyways, so that was booked, and I booked it for Friday through Sunday because I don't know if you're going to try to go up early or not, but I think last year that's what we did was Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to buy tickets this year. That's going to be a chunk of change. Those were not cheap.
Might not have to. I have to check on that.
Yeah, you let me know. Why are we guys talking about Star Wars?
If we do have to buy tickets, we need to figure out a way that we don't have to stand in a line.
For real.
'Cause
I
that
hope
line
I
is
hope it
ridiculous.
explores more because
Yeah.
I really am tired of this, like the reiteration of the same movie. Navi good, Earth people bad. Like I want to see more. And Star Wars is the greatest. So
No, it is not. Did you see
thank
that
you,
Star
Pab.
Wars convention going on in Atlanta?
I thought it was already over.
I don't think so.
I saw you send it
don't
to
know.
Sky,
Yeah.
but I never looked at it. You bald headed demon. Let me see.
Yep. It's been good so far, Kyle.
No, it is. It's over. It was Atlanta 2022.
Oh, well, hell. Why are they still sending ads to us then?
They probably just have it and didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, it says Sunday, January 8th, 2023.
Okay.
That's dumb, but on the ad it says 2022.
Oh, well, then that was today.
Today's the 7th.
No, it's Sunday now.
It's only 11:30 my time.
Oh, okay. You guys still can't make it.
No, I'm way too tired for all that. We have done nothing but traveled for weeks at this point. I am done.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta get a weekend plan to come up soon so the girls can go do their book thing. Well, all right, guys. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it right there. We've been going almost 3 hours, which is a long time. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Make sure you be on the lookout for our content coming out. We're gonna try to get a bit better of a schedule coming with content coming. So
Hold on. I had a few more pickups to show off. These are really important. I bought some. I bought myself some. What do you call it? Stocking stuffers. Titan Smash. Bardock. Love that. Son Goku, faded rival. It's like old school Goku. And then I got a few more, but nothing fun. But yeah, guys, go out, read some manga, enjoy it. Drink water. Make sure you hit
buy Silver Age comic books. Wow.
hit all your 2023 goals. Those lists are important. They're of value. Our list will be coming out next week. Hopefully Monday. It'd be nice if I could just drop it tomorrow. That would be nice. So what I need to start doing is doing our content like Sundays.
Yeah.
Who knows? Hello, my old friend.
All right, guys. Y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will catch you here next Saturday again for the Babylon. Y'all have a
Big
good
love
week.
the beast.
Later, guys.